I got you and I'm out. Man, I just think that would be a great one. Man, that YouTube really isn't fucking loading in, huh? That sucks. Either way. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that would be the craziest shit ever. So throw this out here at the beginning. Now the major outlets, the guys with 500,000 and million followers, are starting to say that the UFC's new broadcast deal could mean the end of pay-per-view. I just want all you guys to remember that I've been talking about this shit for months and months. I've been telling you guys that the new model that TKO will bring will eliminate pay-per-views. I actually mentioned that Netflix could do a sports package and make a killing, and I seen on a major outlet them mentioning today that mentioning the exact same thing. Sorry, I had to mute a screen out there. Oh shit, I got to mute it out. My bad. But they got 500,000 million followers. And they're talking about the pay-per-view model may get eliminated, quoting some of Ben Shapiro stuff that I talked about when he first said it. I think that's really going to happen. I think 2026, early 2026, the UFC is a package, $34.95 a month, and you get everything. Probably comes with some other shit on Netflix too, or wherever they land, but I feel pretty confident that that's going to be the new model. Pay-per-views will be removed. Sean Strickland took to IG saying that Paulo Costa still hasn't signed his contract. Bro, is this like Ultimate Warrior? Gonna wait for the curtain to be jerking so that you can try to demand more money right before you walk out? Like, I cannot imagine the UFC not being absolutely fucking raging mad if Paulo Costa hasn't signed that contract yet. YB, nice to have you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
What's up, guys? I don't know, to be honest. I don't really have a problem with it. Paulo's like, he's a weird dude. He did this happened last time with the Whitaker fight. It was like 3 weeks out or something, and everybody was saying he hadn't signed the contract. So I don't really know what his angle is, but
Dad Picks muted everybody. I don't think he meant to do it. You got muted halfway through there, YB. You said you don't really have a problem with it.
He does it like every fight. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but he did it for the Whitaker fight. It was like 3 weeks out, and there were still talks of the contract not being signed. I don't really know what that dude's doing. He's a weird fucking guy for sure.
Yeah, that shit's crazy to me. Yeah, whatever. I can't. I think the UFC doesn't like to do business with Paulo Costa. He's always talking about having problems getting fights and all this shit. I'm just making a wild guess that he's super difficult to deal with and get it done. Yeah, I feel pretty strongly or pretty sound in that. Ronda Rousey released her Our Fight, a memoir. One of the sections that's going viral is she mentioned her relationship with Brandon Schaub. Basically called him a gaslight and POS. And more or less said she was turned on when she watched Matt Brown beat him up. Brandon went on his show, Food Truck Diaries or whatever it's called, and he said that he can't believe that she's even mentioning him. The relationship was very small for him, and that when he was with her, he felt bad for her and he didn't actually want to be with her and used to talk to his buddies about it. But he said that he finds it weird that he is in that book for such a short glib of a relationship. I don't know exactly how long they were together, but she's married, retired, WWE, retired. I definitely see his point. it's pretty fucking ridiculous that she's still writing about him. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I think it's fucking ridiculous. I don't ever back Brendan Schaub, but I'm backing Brendan Schaub. So this one will go a few ways, and we'll get some comments out on this one. Sean O'Malley and Ryan Garcia, they're getting clicks. Sean FaceTime Ryan while he was streaming. Ryan says he wants to fight Sean in MMA. After Sean says, "I'll fuck you up in a real fighter," whatever. I didn't write quotes. They just kind of bantered back and forth. Sean said he's going to beat Marab. Ryan kind of was like, "Yeah, I know you will," and then Sean got real short and was like, "All right, I'm out, G." I followed Connor and Floyd from the moment Connor said Floyd's name. Even when people said it's fucking stupid, you're dumb as fuck, you're thinking it's going to happen. Sometimes you can just sniff things out. And I knew as soon as I seen it, yep, that's actually going to happen. If Sean O'Malley, I've said this a few weeks, maybe this is 2 weeks in a row here. If Sean O'Malley knocks out Marab, there is a very good chance that we see him box Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia is willing to come to the cage, there is a tremendous chance that we see it. That shit is going to sell. I don't care what anybody says. That shit is going to sell. It will be a top 10 UFC pay-per-view sale, in my opinion. Credit to Ryan for the amount of fans that he will bring. But Sean will be the big play too. Without, it's the right dance partner, and I just think Sean is that dance partner for him. You gonna tune in for that fight, Dead Picks? You're muted, bud. I don't know if you're.
Nah, honestly. Of course I'm gonna watch it, man. I mean, shit. It's all I'm fucking doing, on these weekends, so yeah, I'll be tuning in. Probably have some money on it.
I'll be excited about it, is what I'm saying. I'll actually 100%. I'll be fucking pumped about it. I'll be really excited for it to go on. Connor was talking shit about Sean and Ryan last week. Osterine this, Osterine that. He kind of apologized. Said, "I know he admires me, so we'll figure it out." I don't know what the fuck. Connor is he's all over the place. You can't avoid him. He did an interview and did a live stream. Half of the topics here somehow revolve or mention Connor's name. Connor trash talked Ilya, said if Ilya is going to be the highest paid athlete on the 2025 list, that means he's got to do it in 2024, and he's nowhere close. And Sean O'Malley's house got swatted. Did you guys see that? Did you see that shit, that Pix? My man was playing video games and got swatted as fuck.
Yeah, no, they did him dirty, man. I mean, like the history of swatting is like very dark, man. Like when you swat someone, like you do it because you wanna, you want to target them, man. Like you want, like 9 times out of 10, it's because you want to see that person, get sprayed up. It's not. It's yeah. It's fucking horrible. I can't believe it happened to him. I hope it doesn't happen to him again. But from the looks of it, he did seem to come out fine. So at least there's that.
I
That's
seen
fine.
someone I seen someone comment that it should be considered attempted murder. Like, I don't know if attempted murder is the necessary charge, but bro, there needs to be a very steep charge on that. Eddie Law, nice to have you in. Get after it, bud.
No, 100% needs to be a fucking attempted murder. Do you guys know what Arizona cops fucking do? These are like, I know everyone talks about Chicago cops and New York cops and all that, but Arizona cops are the like shoot first, ask questions in like 3 months fucking like squad. So I'm just glad he didn't get shot.
Imagine if it was Sean Strickland.
Oh, that'd
Oh,
be that. Hey, he comes out like the kind of guy that wants to go out in a blaze of glory. I think he'd be happier than shit.
He's at least gonna come out gun drawn. What the fuck are you doing on my property? Righteous. Yeah, and there's just no way. Yeah, if it was Sean Strickland, we'd probably be having a very sad conversation right now. If they figure out who did that shit to him, I hope it's big trouble. I don't know the laws on that type of stuff. I do know it on some stuff, but I don't know it on that. I hope it's a serious crime. Let me see what else I got here. So John Jones been all over social media. Says he's picking Curtis Blades to beat Tom Aspinall at 304. we've talked about John versus Tom. I don't want to do that. Anybody think Curtis can beat Tom? I think there's very clear paths, but Curtis has been slow and old and not looked as well in his last 2 or 3 as I thought he had looked 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I think Tom probably gets the W, but I don't know for sure. If Curtis could get him to the ground, I would say there's definitely a path for Curtis Blades. I see your thumbs down there, Connor, but if it gets to the ground, bro, I've even said long time ago, I think the one guy that could give John a problem would be if Curtis Blades could figure out how to get him to the ground. So I gotta give Curtis that same respect, but a little older. So I have it up on 2 screens, and sometimes hands are up and sometimes hands are not. If I'm not, I got Eddie Law up on one screen and not up on another screen. So if I'm not calling on anybody, just fucking jump in because I think spaces are a little off tonight. Dead picks, who you picking? You picking Tom in that fight? Are you betting that fight?
I mean, I like Curtis Blaze, bro. He's my fucking guy. If I had to bet though, like gun to my fucking head, I'm probably gonna side with Tom just because of Curtis's last outing, man. Like I don't know what it was. Maybe he was fucking injured. Maybe there's something going in, like in terms of like him going into the fight. But yeah, after seeing what I saw last time, man, I was like, I would have to. I mean, I would have to pick Tom, right? I mean, if it was like a younger Curtis, like how you said, then yeah, like for sure, I'm taking Curtis all the fucking way. But uh, yeah, it's hard for me. I would have to watch tape on it. But so like early picks, I'm going with Tom for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take Tom too. Curtis is plus 200. If I could get him at like plus closer to plus 300, I would play his ass. I won't lie, but at plus 200, I think that's probably right. So I'll probably play Tom. YB, get after it, bud.
So I think Aspinall is gonna win, but I'm gonna root for Curtis just for the lulz. Like that's literally it. Just because it would be so fucking funny to see Curtis beat him after all this talk of Aspinall bitching and whining about fighting John and stuff. I just think it would be fucking hilarious. So I gotta go with Curtis on this one.
Oh yeah, when I was a younger guy, physical humor, physical comedy or whatever was the funniest shit on earth to me. As I get older, irony is the funniest shit on earth to me. If Curtis goes out there and mops Tom, just the irony, all the arguing we've done. I'm not even going to talk shit about Tom. All the arguing I've done with Connor J in here and fucking people all over Twitter, random arguments I've had. If he fucking goes out there and loses to Curtis Blades, bro, like it's what we all deserve. I'll say that. It's what we all fucking deserve. Tom also Petty Jones decided that he was going to DM with fucking fans and got into it in the DMs with a fan who, of course, fucking posted it. So, and you got to figure John knew that was coming. But John says he's getting $15 million to fight Stipe Miocic. DC weighed in and said, I didn't get 15 million to fight Stipe, and I fought his ass 3 times. I didn't make $15 million to fight him. He better take that fight. If John's getting 15 million, I would wait until fucking 2027. It's 15 mil. That's a fat fucking bag. And man, I gotta bat my boy Bones up on that one if that's what he's getting. But he also said it would be November 9th at MSG. People are calling that a leak. Not really a leak. Dana was asked in a post-fight presser if it looked like New York, and Dana said it sounds right. So here's one for Connor J. And it's a question for anybody in here. And I know Connor J is going to come on the mic for this. So should John Jones be stripped of his belt due to inactivity despite his injury? John Jones just passed 511 days which is how long they waited to strip Conor McGregor of his belt. I've got to say, to be fair, they probably should strip his ass of the belt, but not in lieu of like handing it over to Tom, just in lieu of, bro, you're coming up on 2 years, no belt activity before you fight. Like, I seen Eddie Law go up pretty quick. Eddie Law first. Go ahead, bud.
First of all, if that $15 million figure is legit, everyone saying that he's ducking Tom and whatever else, and he's scared of Tom and all that shit, eat a fat one. I'm taking $15 million to fight an old guy 100%, first of all. As dangerous as Stipe can be at his best, right? But do 15 million? Shit. And they're not going to strip him. There's no point to strip him because if you strip him, that fight's not worth 15 million. Straight up.
Well, and then the other thing about it is, like, not being nasty, he's definitely not making 15 million to fight Tom. He's not. It's not even going to be close to that. I defend UFC fighter pay all the time, but probably 7 to 10. That's not. We're not talking thousands. We're talking millions. That shit is not even close. Dead picks.
No, don't strip him just because I don't want Conor J to, have a win.
Connor J, nice to have you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I disagree with pretty much everything. I actually think that John should be stripped, and I think that I'd be more in favor of the Stipe fight if he did get stripped. But yeah, I disagree with Eddie. Just because that John's getting paid more for that Stipe fight doesn't mean he's not ducking. Nobody said that John is scared of Tom. I've said that John is ducking Tom this whole time. Never said he's scared. You can say whatever reason you want about the reason that John is taking the Stipe fight, but Tom is the fight to take. That's the fight to take next, and yeah, John's ducking.
I'm gonna stick by. I'm gonna stick by. He's not giving up that $15 million, and yeah, it just yeah. And when I found out that that was the bag, like Eddie said, it's over. It doesn't matter. You're fighting Stipe. It's $15 million, man. Like it's over.
Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Let's say, just for the sake of the argument, that the the pay for the Tom fight was the same, 15 million. Would you still be in favor of John fighting Stipe? If the pay was the same for each fight.
Only because the fight was already agreed to and John had to pull out, I would still favor the Stipe fight. I feel like Tom's belt came as a consequence of John pulling out. And due to that reason, I don't feel like Tom can trump Stipe. The
What is
right thing to do would have been have Tom fight Stipe for that belt, but that shit is long gone. But I think that they should have had Tom fight Stipe for that belt. Winner fights John, but that ship is far long sailed. But I think that's how it should have went.
but why did Stipe so yeah, okay, whatever. Stipe can turn down or decide not to fight Tom Aspinall, and he can still get to fight John when he gets back there. Stipe gets to fight Pat, beat him, and then beat Curtis Blades, and still not fight John when he gets back. That's all fine and well, right?
Yeah, so like if you want me to defend it from the Stipe point of view, no, I don't think that Stipe should get the John fight. But yes, I think John should get the Stipe fight.
What is why though? What is Stipe right now?
Bro, because I've said all along that I know Stipe is the biggest bag John can get. And I think
Like
John
why?
should get the biggest bag he can get.
What is Stipe done to be a big draw?
he has old fans that are going to buy pay-per-views. That's just the truth.
People didn't buy
Even Dana White knows it.
when he was
Everybody
a
knows it.
champion.
Tom's fans buy so little pay-per-views, he's going to have to fight at 4 a.m.
Stipe's fans didn't buy pay-per-view when he was a champion. Stipe was never a pay-per-view draw. What are we talking about here?
Oh, I disagree. He did 600,000 plus every card.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not true.
Oh, we're gonna figure it out. But hold
Go
on,
ahead.
let Eddie get on there. We'll kill this one. Eddie, what you got,
All
bud?
right, real quick on that point, because I understand what Connor's saying. This fight is not about, yeah, it's about money. All fights are about money, but it's not about like anything other than legacy, right? Who's the most successful UFC heavyweight to ever fight, right? 4 title defenses that Stipe had at heavyweight. This has nothing to do with who's a better fighter, who's this and that, whatever the matchup. It's about John Jones beating who a lot of people believe is the best UFC heavyweight like to ever do it, right? In the UFC. We're not talking Fate or anything like that, but just in the UFC. It's a legacy fight, but he's getting paid a bag to fight a legacy fight. Now, if I'm John Jones and you're giving me $15 million to pay to fight either Stipe or Stipe or Tom, I'm fighting Stipe. But as a fan, if he's getting paid the same money, yeah, damn right I want to see John Jones and Tom Aspinall. That's 100% true.
Yeah, I mean it is a better fight. I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is from the John point of view, John is locked in for his bag in his fight, and he should not have to detour. The UFC should have made Tom fight John, or Tom fight Stipe, or Stipe fight Tom. That's when Stipe said no, things should have changed. But the UFC isn't going to change him. John should get that money. Why be?
I think everybody in this whole MMA space that has any comments towards this as well needs to remember the whole point of this is kind of to erase Francis's greatness at heavyweight. Like, we can't leave that part out of it. Half of this is just saying, fuck Francis, he wasn't that good. We have the best heavyweight. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. Like, that's a big part of it. And
So listen,
also,
I've said
I'll fight
you're
Stipe
right.
next week for $50,000. You think I would turn down $15 million? I'll do it for $5,000 right now, tomorrow.
Yeah, I get it. Like I've said before that the UFC also has a very, very smart play in the works right now. If John Jones takes $15 million and retires, Tom Aspinall can be argued as the best heavyweight on the planet. If John Jones beats Stipe and retires, Francis Ngannou will be the strongest argument. But if John will hold the strongest argument, and if he retires with the strongest argument, they will be able to take all of that and put it over on Tom Aspinall. But if John Jones beats Tom Aspinall, he's out of that conversation, and the UFC is out of the conversation of having the best heavyweight on the planet for probably another 3 to 4 years. So I think that the UFC knows that too. Connor J.
Yeah, I just want to address like Eddie's point. I understand that this is a quote unquote legacy fight and whatnot, but I don't understand like the appeal of this fight as in this isn't 2015. Stipe is coming off nearly a 4-year layoff, a KO loss. Like him calling, like, yes, he's the heavyweight GOAT, but he is not that fighter today. Like, he's not that. If John wanted this crazy uh, victory on his mantle, he should have fought him years ago. And instead, we're getting this old man Stipe version in 2024.
Yeah, but he
Also,
didn't go up to fight Stipe. He
yeah,
went up to fight
but,
Francis.
huh?
He went up to fight Francis, and Francis left. That's real.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about he could have done this when Stipe was champion years ago. Nobody stopped John from doing that. He just decided not to. But now we have to all act like this is some sort of important fight when Stipe is practically retired. He's almost 4 years inactive and coming up a loss. We're like supposed to just believe that this fight means something just because we're calling Stipe the heavyweight GOAT.
Yeah, bro. I watched Bisping Henderson too.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm not defending that fight either. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna let everybody else get their point, and then we're gonna move this one. But what I will say is that if the UFC shoots the load on Tom versus John, the heavyweight division is over. There's not another pay-per-view fight. There is not another pay-per-view fight that sells 500,000 heavyweight main event for 2 fucking years minimum.
I don't think we don't
By
know
holding
that. We don't
Tom
know that.
aside and letting him beat up everybody else, Tom Aspinall grows his pay-per-view.
But
There's a game to this for the UFC, and all of the meritocracy that people want to see just doesn't matter over the business. Better times. I ain't heard from you yet.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, look, man. Tired of y'all talking shit on Stipe, bro. Stipe, look, man. First off, Stipe is the heavyweight GOAT. And this is not the shit on Francis, but
Oh
he
no,
is
he
not.
is. He is.
No, he is not. He is not. Francis is not.
No, no,
His
Stipe
greatness is,
is. Stipe
oh
is.
yeah, Stipe is.
Stipe
Okay.
is the GOAT,
But
bro.
Francis' greatness is still a question mark. When he achieved beating the title, beating Stipe for the title, he only had one defense. Now, get it. That was a good fight, but he left right after that. And Stipe, I think people forget, Stipe hurt Francis in that rematch. Stipe was not like, remember the first time they fought? He went Floyd Mayweather on Francis. He was avoiding all the good shots, and he was lighting him up, and he held him down. The second fight, even though it ended quick, Stipe hurt him, and then when he hurt him, he just went in recklessly and got caught, and then he got knocked out. That was it. He's not just some old man now. He was still a great fighter in his last fight. He just made a careless mistake and paid for it. He's not. I don't think people act like he's just gonna come in all stiff and shit. I don't think that's it.
No,
I
I don't.
based on his last fight, he is still a tough fight for Tom Aspinall.
I
But
agree.
with that, I say let this shouldn't even be a conversation. It's a legacy fight. We know it's a legacy fight because Stipe has accomplished more than any other heavyweight in the UFC. John Jones has accomplished way more than any other fighter, just period. And let them two fight. Once they fight, they're gonna retire. Respect their legacy and let Tom Aspinall be the next long reigning heavyweight champion. And that's just gonna be a good
Bingo.
story.
Bingo. Bingo. That is what they are going to do. All right, I'm going to kill this topic. I'm going to let Eddie go, Connor go, and I'm not going to reply. Eddie, go ahead.
All right, actually, I have to run here in a second, but just on everyone's point, just understand something. This isn't necessarily only John Jones saying, I'm not going to fight Tom right now. I'll fight Stipe instead. The UFC needs this to be able to call John Jones, quote unquote, the greatest heavyweight because he beat the greatest heavyweight. MMA math is not exclusive to fans, okay? The UFC uses it all the time. When's the last time you hear someone go, oh, they beat Tony Ferguson? Yeah, which Tony Ferguson? Tony Ferguson today is not the same Tony Ferguson from 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? So it's just about the name value. It's the narrative that the UFC wants to write up to make sure John Jones is the greatest heavyweight of all time because they're not selling to me, Joe, Connor. They're not selling to Better Times. They're not selling to any of us. They're selling to Joe Blow, fucking Connor Nuthugger super fan that doesn't actually watch any UFC, or only watches Connor highlight type of shit. The casual, right? They're not selling to me or you. If they were selling to me or you, they wouldn't be putting this fight on for exactly the point Connor makes. It's not a good fight, really, like overall, right? I mean, again, and I get what Better Times is saying about Stipe. All respect to Stipe 100%, but this is not the same Stipe that even fought DC, for example. So, I mean, to me, it's everyone's kind of bagging on John. The UFC's part of this too. 100%. So anyway, sorry. I hopefully I can catch you guys next time, but I gotta run. Y'all have a good night. Connor, Better Times, Joe, Dead Picks, Waking, YB, the man. I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks for stopping in, Eddie. Connor J, close this out.
Yeah, I actually agree with everybody said there, but I disagree with Better. I think people should go back and watch the last Stipe and Francis fight. Stipe got beat from pillar to post pretty much that whole fight. Better is right. He landed a good strike right before getting sent to hell and knocked
Yeah,
out.
but you
So,
can't play that game
oh no,
because
he just played it. What are you talking about?
yeah, but Surreal Gone held Francis Ngannou at bay
Yes,
and then
Surreal.
proved that he's a
Francis
shitty
Ngannou had two
grappler, and there's
fucked up
still the
knees going
argument
into
of
that, and he
Conor
still
over
out wrestled him.
Francis.
That's not my point. I was just saying that because what I don't agree with what Better said. I don't. Where Stipe did not look good in his last fight, and that was almost 4 years ago. And he's older. Like Stipe is an old fighter. He may be like heavyweights can be old and still be good, but we're not gonna like tell a lie.
Connor
Stipe is
J,
old.
I'm gonna cut you off and tell you that Stipe only sold 500,000, but he has 6 top 100 pay-per-views of all time. So whatever that's worth. I'm gonna skip this topic. I thought about skipping that topic altogether. I'm gonna not skip it. I'm gonna move on.
That's good content, Joe.
Maria.
Hey, Joe, that's good content.
Yeah, and I like the topic, but we'll kill the whole space on it. Like I could fucking actually
I'm down to
make
do
this
it.
one.
I'm just kidding.
No, we should. I've thought about asking you if you want to pick a hard topic and do like a 20-minute deal, but that's another conversation. A Maria Agapova says recently posted that she will be homeless before her next UFC fight. She says that life has been rough in the US, and that someone even tried to sell her into the sex trade without her knowing. First off, it wouldn't be okay if you did know. It's not like the problem is that you didn't know. The problem is, that they wanted to sell you off. I feel bad for her, like I would feel bad for anybody, but like it doesn't always work out, and you made it to the UFC without moving to the US. So, maybe it was a bad move. Maybe try to rewind a little bit. But I do feel very bad for her, and I hope it all works out. Due to the state of our country, immigrants are not going to get much help, not due to any type of hate or anything, just due to an overload. So, things that traditionally people from other countries would have heard about that may have made things a little easier here, those programs are overexpunged, soaked out, and dried. So, yeah, I feel for her, but there's no good answer there. Walking Buckley maybe got KO'd in a spar that just surfaced by some unknown dude yelling, "That's what I do, that's what I do." I'm pretty sure it's all fake. Yep. So just to put that out there as that surfaces around, watch it like 4 or 5 times. I'm pretty sure it's fake. Buckley recently called out Connor. Everybody laughed at him. After that, he called out Gilbert at the post fight presser. Gilbert seems to have accepted. Gilbert's getting old, man. We've got to see the turn point where we're just like, okay, that's it for you. And he's got to be getting there, in my opinion. I don't know that I picked. Yeah, I mean, I might pick Buckley depending on the odds. Who you taking, Dead Picks? Buckley or I completely lost it. Or Gilbert Burns. That's kind of a tough one, right?
I mean,
Like 5 years ago, the answer was easy, but
right? Yeah, but
man,
man, if anything, I might start with Gilbert. Just early lanes, just because the wrestling, if he actually gets him down, shit. But I don't fucking know, man. That's a good one. Because if it stays on the feet, obviously it's gonna be fucking Buckley.
I think it's hysterical that he called out Connor because Connor is a 55er that hasn't fought no real 170ers, but then calls out Gilbert, who's a 155er that went to 170, whatever the irony. Better times, get after it.
Yeah, that was a horrible call out. Even some of the people in the crowd was booing him because of that stupid ass call out. But that would have been smart if he just said Gilbert Burns in the first place. But I don't think Gilbert Burns is getting old. I think his game is just catching up to him. He never had like a diverse tool set. It was the power right hand. He would throw the power left with it as well. But his main game was his grappling. He has such a good grappling and how he gets his opponents to the ground, almost like Yelton Almeida. He just dives for the lower part of those legs and he just runs through, and that's kind of hard to defend if you don't have a wide base already. So, with that being said, we've seen Buckley in bad positions in grappling, still technically using technique to get himself back up. So we know he works on his grappling defensively, and we know he knows what he's doing. And that man is really strong. He was really strong at 185. Now he's at 170, and his striking is always getting better. Just the way he moves and he sets everything up, that's Buckley, in my opinion. I would bet on Buckley.
Yeah, me too. And what I'm saying is that what I was saying is any hope you really had on Gilbert, man, you gotta start considering that hope is aging out. YB.
I was just gonna say the same. I would go with Buckley just based off the boxing and how big he is. Like that dude's made of like granite. He looks really strong. He could buck, no pun intended, Buckley get it, but he could buck Gilbert off of him whenever if it comes to a takedown. In my opinion, I don't see Gilbert being able to get him down and submit him or anything. I just think he would get knocked out before that would happen.
Even if he got him down, he like you said, he wouldn't hold him down. Usman, nice to have you on the mic, bub. You on the mic? I'll send that co-host.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to talk a little bit more. I'm still trying to wrestle a 1-year-old into bed. Um,
Just throw it. Just throw it.
I wish I would. I wish I would. No, man, I'm on Buckley. I think for the past 3 fights, I've talked about how I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I think this fight would be pretty kind of tailor made with the way he moves on the outside, darts in with the combos, and a lot of his shots are straight shots whenever he does do those blitzing combos. I think Buckley would probably. He definitely put up a better shot than Jack Della did, and I think that's kind of surprising. I guess for me because I dislike Buckley, but yeah, I'd be on him on that fight.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if that gets anywhere near happening. BJ Penn is currently spinning out of control, having DM wars with a candidate for Hawaii County Council. The guy posted it. BJ's trying to call him on social media apps and shit. Fucking BJ Penn. Like I don't man. Fuck. Him and Mark Hunt are two peas in a pod. Islam says he wants to fight Connor in the summer because it's an easy fight and everybody can beat Connor. Connor recently made comments that he feels like the lightweight strap is being lined up for him. If I have to watch Conor McGregor fight for a 155-pound belt again, I might actually not watch. I'm lying, but I want to not watch, like I want to be like, fuck this, I'm not watching. And when I watch, I'll be spiteful about it. Connor J.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. Annoying. Islam's now just fighting a lightweight, so I think they'll call Conor out after potentially beating Dustin. That'd be pretty good. And he's also like talked about fighting Liam as well. He should be. I mean, I'm the meritocracy guy, but I think he should fight Armin next. But I don't think he. I mean, Dustin's got to knock him out in the second round, so he needs to be worried about what he's gonna do after that.
Man, I made out what you said, but the noise was pretty bad on that one. Like, turn the direction of the phone or something. Better times.
I would hope that's not true because Islam's going to kill that man. Like, it's not. I think Connor's an easier fight than Dustin Poirier for him. Like, Yeah, that's just my
Oh
opinion. I
yeah,
think
I
Islam is gonna
100%.
fucking murk him.
I agree with you better. I 100% agree with you. Dustin is the harder fight. There's a reason Khabib was brought into the camp. Speaking of Khabib Nurmagomedov, Khabib, was recently rumored to be $3.3 million in tax debt. I did a video from our pages and posted it up. Circulated pretty good. Did a few thousand views. Then his team released a statement saying that it's not true. However, a whole bunch of fucking outlets are releasing things now saying that his charitable bank accounts are listed as frozen. Uh, People are saying that, or outlets are saying that he moved to the UAE and applied for citizenship because of the tax debt to the Russian government. Like there's several articles. I actually did a video about it that's on our page and on our YouTube. I did a shorts version and then a full version. Full version's like less than 3 minutes. You can get the whole story. But Khabib, like everybody says he's the richest fighter, but he's been posting commercials for this Wahid financial group. They're clearly paid. There's a disclaimer at the end. If you pause the video, it says that he's paid to do it. He's been accused of being in crypto scams twice. If you read this company's information, they basically tell you that they use AI to purchase for people and monitor people's accounts. It it seems like a Bitcoin scam. It seems like they're buying people's money with Bitcoin, and then whatever the return would be, you know, people don't know what commodities they're getting. So they could tell people that they bought a different commodity with a lower return and then keep the profits from the Bitcoin, and then take the money later and invest it other places. It's, man, they had to pay the United States Trade Commission's $300,000 last year for false promises. Like it's a shady company. So there is a little bit of indication that maybe he doesn't have all the money everybody thinks he has. And maybe he's not in camp to help Islam. Maybe he's in camp because he needs to get back in shape to fight. I know that it seems crazy, but you have to understand he could return for $50 million. It's rumored that he has $50 million, but listen, there's no fucking way he has $50 million. There's no way. It's not like they were paying him $1 million to do appearances. And he only made, I mean, I'm sure he made 10 or 15 million, maybe even 20 million off that Conor fight, but I highly doubt it. He probably didn't make $20 million in his whole career. He probably made 10 or less. I don't understand why everybody thinks he's one of the richest fighters on earth. There's nothing that indicates that he is one of the richest fighters on earth, other than people just say it. But there is starting to be some evidence pointing to the fact that he's fucking broke. Zabet.
Yo, what's good, everyone? What's good, Joe?
Nice to see you on the mic, bud. What's happening?
Chilling. Huh?
You think he's broke?
Huh? What was that?
You think he's broke?
That's a great question because all these UFC fighters apparently don't get paid. They only get paid if they do those boxing gimmicks and whatnot. But yeah, I heard that shit about Khabib. That's kind of like, it's kind of weird.
Well, and like the UAE has offered to pay $50 million. I did not say that right. UAE.
And what happened to his
A
Eagle FC?
AUE. AUFC. So that went under, bro. Like that's one of the things people are pointing to. They're saying he made a bunch of bad investments, got into some shitty crypto stuff, and then they're saying that he had the money to pay the taxes, but he tried to reinvest it. One outlet is saying that he had the money and then invested it elsewhere, probably assuming that it wouldn't be considered profit because it was reinvested still in the business. But apparently, that's not how the Russian Tax Federation looks at that shit. taxes owed are taxes owed. So I don't know how all the laws work over there, and I'm not going to pretend like I do, but apparently all this shit is being pulled from public records and shit like that. So it's hard because it's all Russian and you got to try to fold through it and translate, and mash doesn't, mash is diving into like their court systems, which is, it's hard enough to figure out what mash says. So like it is a little lost in translation, but what is clear is many outlets are giving clear explanations that he doesn't have any fucking money. And he's training. I don't care what anybody says. He left camp. He did not help them. He was done. And now he's in New Jersey training right now with Islam. Better times.
That's crazy. Because then the Saudi government tried to pay him 100 mil to fight Conor again, and he
50
said
mil.
no.
50. I think it
Oh, it was
I don't
50.
I don't know if it was the Saudis. I think it was just the AUE, the Arab United Embassies, but it could have been Saudis. But yeah, they have at one point said they would pay him $50 million. They wanted the fight to be there. It may have been the Saudis, but they wanted to host the fight, and they were willing to pay him $50 million salary for the UFC to have it there.
That's crazy. And so it's his fight promotion that's done, right?
Yeah, that's done.
Dude, he has some good fighters on there. Look, I think this is like a good example of who you
But
got to
they
have
didn't.
good people around you
But they didn't
because
compete, bro. Look at who he had. Like you said, he could have easily dropped $5-7 million on those events, bro. Paying fighters, you know it. You know who he had. He had dudes that are getting at least $300,000 to $500,000 to show up main eventing. So like, you're right, bro. He did have good fighters, and that shit costs money. If he only made 20 million bucks, bro, I just see it. You know what I mean?
I know, but look, man, this is what I'm saying. Like, I think it is a good example of you. This is why you need to have good people around you because Khabib and Conor, they're just, if that's true, that means they went in opposite directions. Khabib going broke and fucking McGregor almost being, if he's not a billionaire, almost like he sold his company for like half a bill. Like, it's fucking crazy. He has good people around him that want to make money. And Khabib is just the complete opposite because they're not giving him good advice.
Actually, bro, he doesn't, in my opinion. Ali Abdelaziz is legit triple agent type dude. Like, not that's not being funny. Like, government outed him. The United States government outed him. Like, he's such a fucking agent, triple agent, shit talker. Here's everything we have on this fuckface, public records. You guys can read it. And then threw his ass out on the streets in New York. Like, he doesn't have great people around him. And the other thing to remember is his father did like political peace negotiations for Dagestan. And he probably carries some of that weight. And he probably invested a lot of money into local shit that probably doesn't return real profit. It just returns community. Um, yeah, man, I think he could be broke. Usman.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, is he one of the guys that goes over and hangs out with the Chechen dictator and his sons and stuff?
No, his
That
father was one of the people that negotiated peace between Dagestan and Chesney.
Yeah, so that was one thing that I think brought up a red flag for me. Like, I mean, it's a good thing that he's not going over there. But when everybody around you does it, we know Ali does it. He's fucking gotten my guy Henry Cejudo to go over there and do it. And they all get paid handsomely for it. Uh, that's I know we had talked about the political background of Khabib's father and whatnot, and I think with all that comes a heavy burden, and whether it be that government, whether it be his Dagestani government or Russian government, somebody's putting a thumb on you somehow. And like you said, you might want to be the good person and invest it into your mountain neighborhood, but there's no way that somebody didn't push him around and get some money out of him when he did have it, because you were talking about the concept or the idea of him having so much money and where he got it from. I mean, you look at his followers, you look at the legacy that he left. You people just imagine that he was getting paid very handsomely, and he had the whole fucking nation of Russia behind him. Uh, you would think like they were paying him to be that spokesperson or whatnot. We had seen him doing a lot of what's it called?
Yeah, so Putin actually said that Khabib wasn't a good Muslim and he wasn't a real Russian and all types of shitty shit about him. Yeah, that all went down. So I believe that he is silently behind the scenes one of the most important people in Dagestan politically. And if you have a bunch of money in a place that poor, you know how you keep someone's thumb off of you? You dump it all into your area because now you have a small army that will follow you, and that is how you keep people from coming in. So like, I don't know, it's a sticky situation, and we'll go down a rabbit hole for another fucking 3 hours on it. But there is a possibility that he is fucking broke. That's all I'm saying. Better, I seen you had your hand up, bro. You want to close this out?
No, I already had my hand up. I said what I needed to say.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, the fucking something's wrong with the space tonight. Clarissa Shields says she would touch up Ryan Garcia. I just thought we could all laugh. Like, I just thought,
He wants that.
Damn it, better you son of a gun! I was about to say
bro.
he wants that. He wants to be touched
But
up by
let's
her.
be clear, he could knock her out as fast as he wanted to. As fast as he wanted to put her down, he could put her down, and nobody will ever convince me elsewise.
Correction, bro. You meant to say knock her up.
He wants that super baby, man.
Yeah, I
I
heard
don't
him
blame
talk
him. I
about that.
don't blame him.
I also, fuck it. I like to call it the way it is and toot our horn around here. So I mentioned that Conor McGregor going over to BKFC would be a path to infinitely allow UFC fighters to eventually go back and forth or retire there with no problem, or go back and forth in their later contract. Conor McGregor already did an interview and already brought up Justin Gaethje and how absolutely awesome it would be to have him over in BKFC. I actually brought up Justin Gaethje and mentioned how much he would be worth to go over there for 1 or 2 fights or 3 fights at the end. And Connors feels like he fucking put a big hurting on the UFC's competition because he now created a pathway for them to be able to do other things. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is why he met with David Feldman, Dana White, so that David could talk to Dana about all of this before he signed Conor as a partner. And David knows that there's going to be a bridge there between BKFC and UFC because of antitrust reasons. It makes sense for the UFC. Yeah, we kind of killed that one before. I just wanted to say that Connor, he did an interview that I just was watching right before we fucking opened the space up. And it was one of the last things I seen him say. And I threw it on there as the last hot topic. So we're going to mark that out at 58 minutes, dead picks. That's an hour of hot topics, but there's no real fight card tonight. So I was all right with it going a little over, but 58 minutes is going to be where it ends, and I'll say it probably started at about 3 minutes in. Okay, we're going to move on to some fight announcements. Um, these are fight announcements. Some of them are call outs and some of them are beefs. But these are my favorite thing to talk about. Probably I like talking about these more than the cards. It's because it's just such an early look. We hear the name and we say how we feel about it. So probably my favorite thing to do in the spaces. So UFC Saudi Arabia, June 22nd, got Abu Azatar and Dennis Talulian. And Xiao Long versus Cheng Ho Li. I don't know them, but we are going to get to know these Asian fighters. Their names will start becoming more familiar as the road to the UFC program keeps developing over there, because I don't think it's going anywhere. So
Did anybody watch that?
I do. Sometimes I just watch
Dude,
the
that shit was
fights.
so awesome.
Yeah, sometimes I don't try to watch it with all the translations. The one season I remember where you kind of had to. I did fast forward and just watch the fights, but it was fucking great. Like I loved it. Like I I'm not
Dude,
gonna
I
say I
I
liked it
keep
enough to
saying,
be tough, but I liked it.
dude, I keep saying it, and I want y'all to mark my words, man. The wrestlers coming out of Japan, they are gonna be a motherfucking force. Tatsuro Taira is just the beginning of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, why'd he get canceled with Tim Elliott, bro?
He got a main event, I think.
Did he?
He's facing Alex Perez,
Who's
I think.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a perfect example. Tyra is gonna submit that guy.
Yeah, they hid his ass from Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott was gonna beat him the fuck up. Usman.
Yeah, that's a tough fight, but yeah.
Did you say Abu Azaitar? Is is that who you said?
Abu Azatar.
He's scheduled to fight Dennis Tallulah next month.
Yeah, June 22nd.
Oh, I thought. Oh, my bad. I thought you had said some other name from the road to UFC. I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to. My bad. My bad.
No, I went right into the road to the UFC. Eor Pateria is out. Shara Bullet will now fight Jolton Luderbach. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nurmagomedov out. Fareed Basharat will now fight Montel Jackson. I mean, I think that fight probably still favors Fareed Basharat, but
Yep.
Is
I'm not mad at it. You know, like that's a decent replacement on fairly short notice. Like it's not, I think that's a good fight still.
is
Like I got no
is
complaints.
Fareed the one that lost, or was Javid the one that lost?
It was Javid. This is Fareed, bro. He's the better of the brothers.
Hey,
Trust me.
hey.
Dude's fucking
You know
phenomenal.
what we say, man. When
Remember,
there's two brothers, you
Fareed
find
is
the shitty one, and you don't bet on it.
listen. I figured out how to remember it, bro. Fareed is first. He is better.
Okay.
His name
Is he the shorter
That's
one?
that's a
First
good one.
Basharat.
He's the shorter one.
No, first. He's the better one, bro. He's just Fareed first. You know what I mean? Like that's how I correlate the name to the word. So first Fareed for first Basharat.
They're
That's how I remember that he's
they're
the better
both
one because I think
135ers, right?
Yeah, they're both 135ers.
yeah, but Javed no Fareed has won up to 145, right? One of them fought at 145 before.
That may have been Javid, but yeah, they're both
They're both
bantamweights.
nice, anyways.
This is a bantamweight
They're
fight.
both good fighters in my eyes.
They are.
Yeah, but Fareed is so much better. Oh my god! I remember when I first watched Fareed, I was like, "Holy shit! I'm his fan for life."
Yeah, he's a fucking beast. There's no way around it. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva at UFC Vegas 94 on July 20th. I like Cody Durden, man. So yeah, fuck yeah. I like watching him
You
fight.
gonna be reminded who Bruno Silva is, though.
Yeah, but I'm not like even being I didn't even mean it like that. I just meant like if Cody Durden is in a fight, I know it's gonna be a fight I like seeing. Bruno Silva's a great fighter. So like good fight. Like I'm happy to see that. That's a good fight. Um Not very short notice though. I guess I thought that one was closer. So 2 months out on that one. UFC 303, June 29th, International Fight Week. Charles Jourdain will fight Gene Silva, and Khalil Roundtree is out of his fight with Jamal Hill. No replacement announced unless something went off that I didn't see in the last couple hours.
Oldberg said that he no, yeah, Oldberg said he wants to hop in for that fight. But quick question: what's your thoughts on the Roundtree taking that thing that he said that he didn't know?
So I believe him. It just makes sense. It makes sense. His last tests were clean. Um, It looks like he came forward right away. I think he was trying to avoid a suspension. I think he was trying to get it to the point, which it might be, you know, when it's out of his system, he's good to go again. But that's the same shit that a few people have been popped for. It really is an over-the-counter thing. And there are heavy arguments that there's no advantage to taking it. It's just a banned substance, because I would assume it's one of those things you can compile with other substances. I will also be fair and say Khalil has looked like he's been on the juice for about fucking 2 years now. So, I mean, it is what it is. That boy, I've been wondering, like, you getting secret juice from Paulo, bro? What the fuck are you doing over there? Ozzy, I seen you in with your hand out, bro. Are you wait too long? How you doing, bud?
Hey, fellas, how's it going? I must have missed the start, huh? Yeah, you just kind of cleared up what I was going to ask about the Roundtree situation. You know, I always look to see, is it something common or is it something injectable, you know? But obviously that's not the case. So hopefully he can get a return. You just wonder how, you know, this new testing system, are they trying really hard to get somebody? You know, a lot of us are kind of doubting them and throwing them under the bus a little bit, saying it's open season. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're looking for something, make an example out of somebody. I don't know. But hopefully, if it's legit, if it's something, you know, found in protein powder, hopefully, yeah, our boy gets back in the cage as soon as possible.
Yeah. A quick note: Ryan Garcia says he drank. What is the Paul brothers drink? What the fuck is the name of that thing? Prime. He said he drank Prime and then pissed dirty. I was cracking up
Oh,
about
he
that.
needs to
Better.
sue them motherfuckers, man. He needs to get that
That
prime
was
money.
better times.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say about the testing. I'm not, from what I've heard, like, because fighters have come out and said that, like, they're getting tested just as much as USADA. So I don't know, like, what's the big difference between whatever they're going with now and USADA back then.
The program is very different. The test amount, the program is very, very, very different.
Is it just as far as what they're able to take?
Yeah, so basically what the UFC did is went through and basically everything that's a shelf product that is for recovery of an athlete, um, you know, common shit that everybody takes. They took a lot of those compounds off of the ban list, and they should. They took off a lot of things and they changed the regulations about, like, when a doctor prescribes something, how quickly you can get back into competition, like when you have a leg break. And it is probably the Connor thing, but it set precedents for them. So there is a lot more stuff allowed, but it is not like these dudes can be on TRT. It's still a program that it's still probably, I would say it is still definitely the most strict program in all of United States professional sports.
Because that's what it sounded like. Like they was, it didn't sound like people were just going to be able to juice up freely.
No, people don't realize USADA was Olympic level. USADA was, nope, you can't take protein powders. Yeah, but it's protein powders, and when your muscles rip, you take proteins. No, you can't. Oh, you can only take certain protein powders. Like, bro, if it's sold in the store and there's no performance enhancing thing, no performance enhancing compounds in it, basically this program allows it. It's a healthy. It's a program that focuses on the health of the fighters. Aussie.
So one more thing, because I know you do your research on this. What about they still having to tell them their location and check in and I'm going to be at this gym at this time and all that bullshit? Or is it just back to random testing? We go to, you know, they rock up at a gym, there's 6 fighters there, we'll test all 6. Or are they still having to do all that, you know, location stuff, 3 strikes, it's an automatic fail, all that kind of shit?
So they do still have to do some type of whereabouts, but it's not like that fucking, it's not the way USADA was. I know that. I know it's much different. I don't know. I remember reading about an app being a possibility that would change things for them and like all types of shit. But I don't know what went into policy there. but I know that they definitely loosened up the restrictions on it because it was a huge concern for fighters. Again, Olympic level is different. Olympic level is making sure nobody in no country, nowhere on earth can figure out how to manipulate a compound into being performance enhancing and looking a certain way on a test. UFC level, it's a league, level the playing field, let athletes be healthy. UFC 304, July 27. Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. Congratulations to Connor J. It will be a main event. Bilal was told on Instagram, and people were trolling him like, bro was surprised. He was surprised it was the main, and he was surprised it got announced. He already knew the fight was coming. He's already in camp. He's training with Islam. Probably the reason that they had to bring Khabib in. Islam probably called him like, bro, this dude sucks. He's so bad. We got to help him all the time. I need you here to help. So that's probably why Nurmagomedov was brought in, because Bilal's there. And, but the fight's going down. And Connor, so Leon has already called out Connor. And Bilal is already in a beef with Sean Strickland. So these dudes are already kind of looking past each other. Connor says, I don't know about either one of them. They're both decision fighters. The welterweight division is in a bad spot. Probably 150, 200,000 buys on that card, if that. That's what he says. So, yeah, they should just focus on fighting each other. Fuck, man. I'm like, Leon wants to fight Connor and give him a triple champ shot. Fuck, man. Bilal wants to fight Sean Strickland if he's the champion. I'm starting to become frustrated myself with the fucking. Just make the 165 division so it would help. The belt and the ranking system where people could move, fuck, it would help. Zabets.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Bilal. He finally got his wish come true. Got the title shot.
Who did it better, Bilal or Michael Chandler?
I don't know. They both. I mean, I guess Chandler, because he was like 2 fights and already got it, or 1 fight. He ain't had to win like 10 in a row.
He did tough though, and then got told no.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're talking about that, then
That's bro. He was like, "Fuck you, I'm waiting.
yeah, he
Fuck
waited
you,
it out.
I'm waiting."
He got it too. Yeah, yeah.
He was like, "I got it on a napkin in a bar one night, and fuck you guys, I'm holding out." Usman.
Chandler did it better because he's getting his payday at the end of the day. Bilal got screwed over because they successfully waited him out. Um, I always shit on fucking Leon for, I don't know, taking a fucking 6-9 month break between fights, and it annoys the shit out of me. But he's the way more active fighter when it comes to this, and Bilal's already 36 years old, and like I said, they successfully waited him out, sat him on the bench. He's gonna be coming in cold versus somebody who seems to be better all the way around. They really did a good job of fucking over Bilal here.
Oh yeah, and he's been trying to stay in camp and stay ready this whole time. Listen, there comes a point where your body starts to burn out and go into like autopilot. I know about it from just being a guy who used to be super into fitness before my injuries, and listening to fighters talk about it. Yeah. YB and then Connor J.
So, whenever this fight got announced, I actually went to the local library because I don't have a printer, and I printed out a picture of Leon, and I kiss it every night before I go to sleep, along with Corey Sandhagen, hoping that he'll knock Bilal out, and we never have to hear about him again.
I don't know how well that's gonna go for you, bro, if I'm being honest. But
He said Corey Sandhagen. No, wait, what's he have to do with?
Connor J.
What's up? Is it still loud? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better. It's loud, but I can hear you. Fuck it. Get after it.
I'll make it quick. Shout out to Bilal. Got the title shot he deserved. Uh, just so awesome. I was told forever this fight wouldn't happen. Shout out to Bilal. Just, oh man, that's so awesome. And a shout out to Tom Aspinall. That's a really great card. That Manchester card.
It is a great card, and I think it's going to get another fight, and I think it's going to be a really great card. Yeah, that's just what I think. Better times.
Yeah, just want to say the whole inactivity on Leon Edwards. I don't think that's on him, because if you listen to Dana White, he says that he keeps saying yes to any of the fighters. And the Bilal fight, like we all know, he deserved it. He's been deserved a title shot, and I think he is from the first fight, it was clear that Leon was the way better fighter. But his performances since then, we know that Bilal is going to be a way tougher fight for him now, especially way tougher than Kobe Covington provided. But it was just the fact that no one really cared to see him fight for the title. Like we all knew he deserved it, but no one gave a shit.
Well, and I'm not gonna I don't want to start am I bagging on Bilal War, but the truth is he's not the draw here. It's Leon Edwards, it's Tom Aspinall, and likely
Yeah,
and likely
that means no one gave a shit.
yeah, we're likely gonna see MVP versus Ian Gary added to that card. So, that's gonna be a fucking insane card. Um
Versus who?
yeah, so they're calling each other out. They both say they've already agreed to the fight and they're waiting to hear back.
Oh my bad, I didn't hear you. Who is he fighting? Or maybe?
Ian Gary and MVP.
Oh, I feel bad for Ian Gary.
Yeah. So Ian says he accepted Colby, Buckley, Brady, and a bunch of other guys. He said he most recently accepted Michael Page, and he's waiting to hear back. And then Page, just yesterday, I think it was, said that he has accepted the fight and he's waiting to hear back from the UFC. And they're both talking UFC 304. Ian Gary has made it very clear he will fight anybody to be on UFC 304. It is very, very important to him. Usman.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up. They are not making that fight. That's the dumbest shit that the UFC could do, and they know what they're doing. They have two guys from that side of the country or that side of the world, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Both with star power that they want to push in the same division. There no way in hell that they're making that fight, and I can already hear all the crybabies in the fan base talking about UFC doesn't make the right fights. They don't make the matchups.
Wait, not making that fight or not making it for that card?
They're not making that fight at all. Like, just think about it. It makes no fucking sense why they would put Ian Gary versus MVP. You only have a little bit of juice to squeeze out of MVP now. And why would you do it to kill another person from that same area of the world? Like, it makes zero sense, especially if you're going to do it to push Gary or vice versa to push MVP in a fight that could most likely be boring, them striking at a distance. It makes no sense that they make that fight.
Um, I mean, I'm not going to argue you. I could see why they would for that card. If you had Aspinall, Blades does not matter. If you have Leon, um, over there, it doesn't matter who he fights unless it's one of the two guys we're talking about. If you put plus from like the American base pay per view buying, if you put Ian Gary and MVP on that card, that's a major card. I mean, that's a straight off of UFC Conor McGregor card. You're gonna fucking still kill it. Everybody's still gonna want to see that card. So I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I could see why the UFC would want the fight there financially. What else got announced here? So UFC. Oh, we're still on UFC 304. Bobby Green versus Patty Pimblett was announced. I'm taking Bobby.
I'm taking
Easy.
Patty.
I'm taking Bobby. Easy cap, bro. Easy cap. I'm not easy.
No, I hear you. He honestly stands a good chance because he's gonna sit in the middle of that ring and he's gonna apply the pressure the whole 3 rounds. But with this plus money on Patty, I gotta take it.
I mean, that plus money. If that's how you're feeling,
How is he gonna win?
what's that better?
How is Patty gonna win?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got your answer. That's what I'm saying to him. If it's just because you feel that plus money, you could get something back. I'm not mad at you, but Bobby is gonna beat the fucking brakes off Patty Pimblett. I can't believe the UFC made that fight. I can't believe they made that fight.
I'm taking Bobby. I'm taking Patty. I'm taking over. Fuck picking a side.
Yeah, definitely Bobby, and then play Bobby by decision. I'm not gonna lie about that. YB.
I really like Bobby by KO, but Patty is really good at just coming forward with like autistic combos, and that can be an issue for Bobby. But other than that, I'm on the Bobby side.
Bro, have you seen his head movement?
I call
Nobody
him
has seen his
autistic
head
though.
movement.
So does
Nobody
that
has
kind
seen
of
his head
explain it?
movement. You heard me better?
What'd you say?
Nobody has seen his head movement.
I'm talking about Bobby. Like Bobby has
Oh,
some
I was
really
talking
slick
about
shit.
Patty. I was talking
Yeah,
about
no, no.
Patty.
Patty's not gonna be able to touch Bobby. Bobby's gonna fuck him up all the whole fight. I think the KO is a good prop.
Bro, Patty bounces up and down. For Bobby, it's gonna be like a carnival game. Just time it in the middle. Just time it in the middle. Just time it in the middle. That I easy cap. Bobby Knuckles beats or Bobby fucking Green beats the shit out of Patty Pimblett. Interim champ Tom Aspinall will defend his belt against Curtis Blades. We kind of already talked about it at the beginning, so I'm just not gonna dig back into it. The irony if Curtis wins will be the best part. Short of that, I'm taking Tom. Long Ran will fight Raymond Tavares. Not a big fight. I said Ian Gary in this deal. Oban Elliott will fight Preston Parsons on 304. It's a good card, man. It's a good card. I still got to say one more big fight, and it's a big card. John Jones tweeted Madison Square Garden on November 9th. We talked about that. Colby Covington is calling for Charles Oliveira. Charles says he wants to do it. Charles Oliveira will fucking kill Colby Covington. That's Colby just trying to be smart enough to grab a bag because he's washed. Yeah. That's all I see there. In other promotions, Chael Sonnen. Well, hold on. Julio Chavez Jr., 53-6, will box Darren Till on the undercard of the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Didn't we just talk about Darren Till probably getting on that card? He said he wanted on that card. Didn't we just talk about that? I don't think he adds any value to the set to people wanting to tune in. I guess because it's free on Netflix, I'm wrong. There will be fans of his that are like, "Oh, yeah, Darren Till's on there too." But if it was a pay-per-view card, he would add nothing to it. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Did you hear that? He's trying to get back in the UFC at some point later in his life.
So he has a handshake agreement with them, according to when he left, that he can come back. They let him out of his contract. He's a free man. He didn't fight it out. They released him because he asked them to. And he says that he has a handshake deal that he gets to go back.
He'd have to rack up some wins though.
Yeah, like I think it was one of those agreements. Like if I go out there and I get my shit together, then the UFC said they'll be happy to have me back. Mike Perry's also hinting that he's going to get a 1-fight deal. I don't know why. I don't know what for. Like, putting him on 300 or something might have been cool, but he's talking about getting a 1-fight UFC deal. I don't fucking get what for. But BKFC, very possible. Very possible. All right, last fight announcement of the night, and then we'll just look at 203 or 302 a little bit before we get out of here. Chael Sonnen is getting another shot at the Spider, Anderson Silva. The two will box in Sao Paulo, Brazil. 5 rounds, 2 minutes apiece, 216 pounds, in front of a black tie crowd, invite only of 600 or less. Silva has said this will be his final fight in Brazil, still leaving the door open for a fight out of Brazil. But this will be his final deal in Brazil. People were talking about Terry Crews announcing the fight and Anderson announcing it back, and Chael played it up like, oh, I didn't know that was promoting. I really thought I lost the fight, but I think they knew all along. Yeah, there's a little more on that one, but better times. Go ahead.
Actually, that was going to be my question about Terry Crews because I was like, I saw the video where Terry Crews was calling him out, and then Chael Sonnen all of a sudden called him out. So I didn't know if it was official or not.
Yeah, so apparently it was like a publicity deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if Terry Crews is there doing camera work. Like, he's great on camera, good personality, like kind of hosting the deal. I wouldn't be surprised at all, to be honest. Yeah, it would just make sense to keep him involved. It sure stirred up some quick traffic when he said he was fighting Anderson. So, Zabets.
For me, I think it's just kind of crazy how the UFC like they create stars kind of like because like this is an old UFC fight and like this fight possibly could sell and like same with George Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. It's kind of crazy.
Well, that's a lot of where my argument comes in for what the UFC does for people. And everybody bitches about the fighter pay, and I'm not going to start that argument, but the UFC is taking the money and changing legislation and changing, keeping drug safety rules, but funding a program that allows the athletes to take advantage of things they should be able to take advantage of. They're building performance institutes like Um, they're doing all of this in efforts to keep these fighters healthy and give them longevity. And as they work out deals with places like BKFC and places for them to go, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm whatever. So hold on, I need 1 second, guys. I never pause, but I need 5 seconds, 10
Usman.
seconds.
Damn, did I have my hand up? Because I was literally about to press the hand up button because I was gonna ask you a question. Yeah. So, open question to everybody. He didn't want to make it about fighter pay. Luckily, it was on the tip of my tongue. I'll make it about fighter pay. We talked about the Maria Agapova thing going on earlier. She's on the verge of going homeless. Um, she's won two fights in the UFC. What should she be getting paid? People want to complain about the 12 and 12 contracts. Just a quick little Google search here. In 2020, she got $20,000 normal purse, and then an extra 10,000 for winning. Someone of that level, what should Maria Agapova be getting paid?
So weirdly, my wife, because she's around when I'm writing up the spaces and stuff. She said everybody says Dana White pays them like shit, and I said he does. And then I did the 30-second explanation of the performance institutes and shit. And then I said the other thing to understand is you're an amateur fighter, and the UFC brings you in, and they promise you to offer you 3 fights in a year. And if they don't, they have to pay you. They fucking have to pay you if they don't offer you 3. So you're offered 3 fights in a year, And even if you have a low end contract, you will make over $100,000 that year. If you win 2 of those 3 fights, you will make over $100,000. There, because you get more. You get more than your pay. You get the little bit that comes from Venom, and there's a few other kickbacks they get, right? So you'll make over 100 grand, and you'll be eligible for a new contract. I have to say, I'm an amateur fighter or a pro am, meaning we all know that Cage Warriors is pro, and we all know that their very top level is not really UFC ready, but the people who break through are. But you're still kind of like pro amateur at that point. So you get to come into the UFC and you basically get a 6-figure contract for 1 year. If you don't take those fights, if that shit doesn't work out for you, the UFC's got 600 fucking fighters on roster. You got a year to make yourself worth something and make a bag and figure it out. I don't know her situation, but I can't over sympathize with her until I know her whole situation. Zabets.
For me to answer Usman's question, like I feel like every fighter, like girl, guy, day of the fight, if they're fighting like in a big arena or something, pay per view, 50K each, and if you win, the win bonus another 50K, but at least a minimum 50K plus all the incentives like free health or whatever, free hospital after, and it kind of brings me back to the Ngannou thing because like Ngannou did a smart decision by like leaving because he left and made $30 million off 2 boxing matches. So like, imagine if he stayed in the UFC. They said that he wouldn't even like his whole lifetime of fighting. He wouldn't even make that much, and he made it in like less than a year.
Yeah, but he went over to PFL because he wanted fighter health insurance, and he didn't get it. And now the UFC gets fighters health insurance, and the math is 2 boxing matches and a PFL fight, and he'll have made about $35 million. But in John Jones' 3 next fights, he'll also have made about $30 million. So really, Francis just ducked because he was going to get a bigger contract than John. So, and he wasn't going to have to fight for the 600 grand for Surreal or John that he got for Surreal that everybody talks about. They were going to give him a new contract before. He would have broke $10 million in his first fight, guaranteed. He'd have broke $10 million in his rematch if he won, and he'd have broke $10 million again after that. He was going to get like 7 or 8 guaranteed plus points. So he would have got $30 million anyway. Truth is, he went to the PFL, who pays fighters shittier, because even though he said he wanted to go to a place that treats them better, he said he demanded health care for all fighters. He went to a place that didn't offer it, and now the place he left does offer it. Francis sold his ass out for a spot on the board of the African PFL because he thinks it's going to be worth a fortune, and he's a board member. That's my opinion. Usman.
So yeah, like we know fighters don't make the best decisions. That's why they get punched in the face for a living. But here I am continuing to do research. Let's say Maria Agapova got signed to a 3-fight deal, had 1 win, 2 losses. And from what I've researched real quick, it seems like she got a better deal if she started off on the 10-10, 12-12 when the whatever it was back then. In the Sabina Mazo fight, 20-20. She wins the fight. That's 40. Wins the performance bonus for submitting her in the 3rd round. It's 90,000. Um, with the all the sponsorships and extra bullshit that comes out on top of that, 94,000. It's like I constantly go back to if somebody like Maria Agapova is getting paid 94,000, Andrei Arlovsky should be getting paid 2.5, $3 million just to show up and get his ass knocked out in the ring, just solely based on the veteran of his career, the legacy of his career, holding a fucking belt, and that's what I just don't understand with these fighter contracts. Because we'll talk about the boxing and whatnot. Not one person can name anybody on the undercard of that Usyk Fury fight. Nobody.
Better times probably can. No one else because D Baby's not here. Better times.
No, I cannot. I only watched it for the Fury to watch Fury and Usyk. But look, about the fighter pay, I think what people don't understand is that what Dana is doing, that he's basically using all that money to reinvest back into the sport. That's the only reason it's as big as it is now, because of
Yeah.
what he's doing with the performance center, and he does take care of his athletes. If they get fucked up in that octagon, he takes care of them as far as like them going to the hospital and shit. So
Bro,
it's
he's
not.
done all bro, and they've paid for it to go legal all over Earth on better. Like they got it legal in France and then Bellator went to Paris.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
New
I'm
York.
saying?
Remember how
Like,
corrupt New York was?
yeah. Yeah, they spent tens of millions of dollars on that. Like they're building a whole sport. So, you
Yeah,
know,
they're not. They're not NFL level yet. I believe once they reach that level, then yes, fighters will start receiving what they deserve. But as of right now, it's still in. It's still like it's like a toddler right now. It's not. It's not. It's not there yet. But
yeah,
it
but
will be there one day.
people are always gonna compare it on the level of, so like look at Maria Agapova, like we were just talking about, right? So if she comes out and she performs and she does well, um, she makes 150, 200 grand in a year, right? For her first year. There are legitimately NFL players who make $250,000 their first year in the league. I've looked it up, I've been into it, and they go out and play 17 fucking games for that money. They perform 17 times and not for 15 minutes. They're performing for more than that. And I don't give a fuck what you say. I understand fighting is fighting and you're getting punched, but I have no interest in being a fucking offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. That's a dirty fucking
No,
job.
that's a bench player though. Like I think a practice player makes 100K just like as a signing.
But what I'm saying to you is when you come into the league, unless you're something special, you get a couple hundred grand for your first year. That's my point. A lot of guys come in, get 1-2 year contracts. They only want 1 year, 2 year contracts because they're not going to get a bag. They all feel like they can go out and prove themselves, and some of them do, and some of them don't. I do agree with the sentiment, though. I think it should be 35 and 35 minimum. I understand, like maybe the first two fights where they call them developmental fights, doing like 25-25, where you could make 100 grand for your first two fights, but I think it should be 35-35 minimum after that. Just my opinion. I think it's, that's 70 grand to fight if you win. It's still 100 grand if you lose all three of your fights in a year. I do think the markers should move. I think the bonuses should go up, but I just don't know what certain fighters want for the amount of time and fights that they have in the UFC. I'm not being an asshole, but I don't know what they want for that. Like Agapova made over 100 grand in a year, and whatever. All right, we're done on that one. Chael Sonnen says he's got a thing with Jorge Masvidal that will be 8 rounds, 2 minutes each. I think he said 2 minutes each. He might not have said that, but he said 8 rounds, 10 to 12 ounce gloves, and it's going down in October. And he's legit known about it since 299. Um, yep, they're legit boxing from the looks of it in October. Jorge and Chael. I can't fucking wait. I I can't fucking wait. I'm so motherfucking excited.
Isn't Chael like so much bigger than him though?
Who cares?
So much
I
older
can't
as
wait.
well.
I don't care. I want to see Chael beat him up so I can hear Chael talk about it on every show he goes on for the next 6 fucking years. That's it. I just want to hear Chael talk about it all the
Oh,
time.
I don't even give a fuck
Whatever.
about watching the fight, man. I want to watch Chael light him on fire on the mic. That's what I want to watch.
The fucking presser will be great,
He is
bro.
going to set Jorge on fucking fire, and it's going to be hilarious.
All right, we're at 139 dead picks. We're gonna clock out fight announcements. We're gonna roll over to a little bit of UFC 302. We're not gonna do like breakdowns and teardowns and shit. Just look at some cards, early looks, check some lines, maybe a few stats on fighters that we're all interested in knowing stats on for whatever reason. So I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna kind of run through it. If I have no interest in the fight, I'm just gonna kind of try to skip over it. Throw hands up though, and we can stop anywhere. Aline Perez versus Jocelyn Edwards. I'm not mad at that fight. I'm really not. It's a fight for an opener of a card. I think is probably appropriate. I'll take the over. Yep, and I'll fucking stick to that shit. After that, we got Mickey Gale and Brazil Chavez. I'm gonna flip over. I'm gonna see if we got odds on that. Yeah, we gotta have odds on that. Mickey Gall, where are you, motherfucker? I was on the wrong page. I didn't have my stuff all lined up. If anybody else has got them in front of them, let me know. I don't see Mickey on the. Oh, here he is. Plus 224. Yeah, I mean, don't bet him. I just think Brazil's going to win for sure. Damn, but minus 294 on Brazil. Holy shit. Fight goes the distance? No. Probably get a better line on that, and that's probably my legit bet. Yeah, I would like that bet. And on that first fight, Aline Perez is minus 263. What has she done to make her minus 263 better than Jocelyn Edwards?
She humps.
Not that I think Jocelyn Edwards is great, but what'd you say, Usman?
She humps really good, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to take her down and twerk on her for about 15 minutes, and then we get the decision.
Pelvic thruster. Is she the one that was doing the pelvic thrust? Is that her?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, right on. Jesus Christ. All right. Fucking A. Nico Price versus Alex Moreno. Fight goes the distance, no. All fucking day. Fight goes the distance, no. Man, I'm going to parlay fight goes the distance, no, on both of them welterweight fights right there. Nico Price and Mickey Gale. And my line on that shit will be, because I can do that on our website. Let me turn parlays on, compare on. So, I can't get fight goes distance, no. It's not even fucking out yet. Damn. But I'm going to bet that shit.
Hey, you know Alex is white, right?
Yeah, so
His name's not Moreno, it's Morono.
I don't give a fuck. It's Moreno,
He
homie.
also pronounced Brazil as in the country, and his name is
No, I
Basil.
said Brazil, bitch.
There's no R.
I don't want to hear it. There's no
No.
R. Fuck off. I added it. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it. So what?
And
One letter.
there's no I in
600 fucking
Gaul.
fighters.
It's
600 fighters, and you guys got to give me shit because I can't pronounce all their goddamn names.
you know I would at least assume the white guy can pronounce the white names too, because it's Mickey Gall, not Mickey Gale.
Hey, bro, I grew up in Detroit on the Dearborn border. If you need me to pronounce an Arab name or a black name, I fucking got you. I'll nail that shit. I'll probably spell it for you. You'd be like, you can't spell that shit. Yes, I will, bitch. Some
Aren't
white
those harder
people.
names though?
I didn't grow up around white people. I still don't know how to spell Derek. Is it two R's, one R, EKICK? I don't fucking know. Like, whatever. Life is what life is, man. I'm not even being funny. Life is what
How
life
about when
is.
you said the awakened Usman?
Yeah, that's what he gets. Awaken my inner Usman. I'll
Yes,
start referring to him
awaken
as
my
that.
inner.
Philip Rowe and Jake Matthews. I am surprisingly not interested in that fight. Philip Rowe is plus 124 on average, 31 or 9 books. Jake Matthews minus 154. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Nico is plus 191 and Alex is minus 244. I think that's probably accurate. I think there's a good chance Alex knocks his ass out. Anyways, on to the other fight.
Hold on,
Philip
hold on,
Rowe.
hold on. Oh, okay, you're going back to Philip. My bad.
I don't bet Philip Rowe fights. I'm not going to talk shit about him. I'm just going to say I don't bet Philip Rowe fights. One day I will. One day I will, but not right now. I know Usman will though. 100% he's going to bet
Oh,
this fight.
oh, 100%. Better. I was gonna ask you, what do you think about this fight? Because personally, I'm going to look at what's his name, Jake Matthews' record, and yeah, I think I've gotten every single fight right since the Emil Meek fight, and fuck Jake Matthews. I'm on fucking Phil Rowe here at plus money. I'll take it all damn day.
Yeah,
I'm
but he
on
doesn't
Phil
have
Rowe
an
too.
IQ. You're taking him as his low IQ as he has. Sorry to step on you. Better go ahead.
No, you're right. Now look, I wouldn't say he doesn't have IQ. It's just that was a bad decision how he fought Neil Magny.
So bad
Like
instincts. We could say he
it
has
was
bad instincts.
it was so bad. Like he fought Neil Magny's fight,
Bro,
but
I was
what
there
gets
was
Jake
clear
Matthews
path for
all the
him.
time, yeah, it's his
Clear
striking. His
path.
striking is phenomenal. But
Yep.
what gets Jake Matthews is linear, straight line shots. He does not move his head. That's what Phil Rowe throws. And I think he's the stronger grappler anyway. I don't think Jake Matthews is going to get the better of Phil Rowe in the grappling. So that's a Phil Rowe fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we're gonna talk about bad IQ, that's why I've hit fucking Jake Matthews so perfect. Um, and betting against him and betting for him, it's like when he needs to grapple, he thinks he's a striker. When he thinks he needs to strike, he starts grappling. Like he should have gotten knocked out in that Andre Fiallo fight. He's just fucking lucky it's Fiallo and that boy is getting slept on Road to Contender Series or whatever the fuck that new show is. Um, yeah, no, man. Jake Matthews, I think, is just as dumb as Phil Rowe. And if that's the case, then I'll take Phil Rowe for sure with the better striking. And I think, like Better was saying, the jiu-jitsu of Phil Rowe is probably just not looked at or not rated at all. But doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm
Philip
just
Rose
fucking.
a fade.
Yeah, bro. Man, I liked the dude, but I would go with instincts instead of IQ based on what Better said. But bro, come on.
Yeah, look, man. If you remember the Matthew Semmelsberger fight and Marlon Moraes, just the striking alone should tell you how bad his defense is, and it would play right into Phil Rowe's style. So when he starts striking, first off, he's got the longer reach. He knows how to use it, and he's always accurate when he's at a distance. It's a bad recipe for Jake Matthews.
I mean, yeah, I can't really disagree with that. I'm not really trying to defend Jake Matthews. I guess I don't want to put myself in that position. So yep, I'm just gonna be done with it. How about that? We'll move on to Grant Dawson and Joe Selecki. Um, so funny thing, his name is Joseph Selecki, but you can only find him through our search engine as Joe Selecki. Um, even though our search engine will even search UFC.com, still only finds him as Joe Selecki. So whatever. Still pretty cool. They both come up. Joe is minus I just had or plus 260, and Grant Dawson is minus 345. I mean, you gotta like Grant Dawson here. You probably gotta like him by knockout. You know me, I like to play fight goes the distance, no type shit. So I might do a stacked parlay where I take the two early on that I talked about, and then do a second parlay and add this one, fight to go the distance. No, I think there's a very, very good chance this fight ends by knockout. I think Selecki. I don't think Selecki is. I think he has good striking defense, but I think Grant Dawson is a good striker who
Lies.
also. What's that?
Lies.
No, I mean he does have pretty good striking defense, bro. Like you can't say that you've seen Selecki get pieced up by a whole bunch of people.
That's because he doesn't really keep his striking. If he does, when he does get pieced up. It's just that he can take a shot kind of well.
That's what I'm saying. Defense, no offense, striking defense.
No, I said he gets pieced up. That's no defense.
All right, all right. I don't know. I feel like he's got decent defense, but I
But
feel
look,
like Grant
honestly, I've
Dawson
never
will
been
find.
high on Dawson.
I think Grant Dawson will find his chin anyway and hurt him. If he can't knock him out, I think he finishes him. Fight to go the distance. No is probably a good bet for in my.
Do you think he's a stronger grappler than Selecki?
Uh, I actually think that he can stuff enough to clip him, and I'll go watch some tape on it. But if I recall, once Joe Selecki gets clipped, he's done. Like you don't have to. I'm not talking about dropped. If I recall, Joe Selecki gets punched pretty well, or gets punched hard, and that's it for him. I'm trying to remember the specific fight. I can't, you can't recall them all, but I'm looking at who he fought because I will be able to tell you the fight where he looked like he had a hope to win, and then he got fucking rocked, and it was over for him. The Jared Gordon fight. No, god damn it. Um, yeah, it had to be the Jared Gordon fight because he won the Deaton fight, and I thought that might have been the fight, but I just don't recall. If I recall, Joe Selecki doesn't take a punch well and doesn't fight well after he gets punched.
Wait, so
And
who are you
Grant,
talking about the defense? Is that Grant Dawson?
I think Grant Dawson. So what I was saying is, I think Joe Selecki has pretty good striking defense, but I think Grant Dawson has great striking offense and also has good striking defense. And will be. I didn't finish. I'm not mad you cut in, and I think he'll be able to stuff the takedown and expose him. I think if Grant Dawson finds his chin, Joe Selecki goes to sleep, or gets dropped and gives up the back. Grant Dawson's got a hell of a grappling game, but I don't think this one goes to the ground. I think this fight stays on the feet. Um, it'll be smarter for Grant Dawson to keep it on the feet, in my opinion. I assume you're taking Dawson in this fight, right, Better?
Yeah, I'm taking Dawson, but I'm not high on him. I'm just like, I don't know. I want to take Selecki because I feel like he's the stronger grappler, but technique goes to Dawson. And even though I'm not high on any of their striking, it's still Dawson for me.
Yeah, but if Dawson didn't get stopped by Bobby Green, then you would be high on him, right?
No, I've never been high on him.
Damn, I
I
like.
break down his tape. His striking defense sucks, but he's just such an aggressive striker because he knows he can take somebody down if things go bad. Those are the thing. That's the thing with good grapplers. Like they're so good at grappling that they can just be free when it comes to striking, and usually that involves neglecting their defense.
Yeah, but you don't think the grappling is going to cancel the grappling out in this fight and keep it on the feet? Because Selecki is a good grappler. I mean, like, he is a good grappler. You don't think it'll cancel it out?
No, I think Dawson is just better everywhere.
If Dawson's plan is to go out there and control Joe Selecki, and he does, I won't be surprised, but I will be impressed. I'll say that. I won't be surprised, but I'll be impressed. I just think it makes sense to keep it standing. Knock him out.
Didn't Jim Miller fight Joe Selecki?
Jim Miller? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucking years ago, though,
So
right?
you
That was like
remember that
5 years.
though? Like Jim Miller was able to control Joe Selecki. He didn't offer anything on the ground. So Dawson's technique will outdo Selecki's strength. Because if he gets him down, Dawson will be
Nah,
able to
bro.
advance position and he'll
Selecki had
probably finish
10
him.
minutes of Selecki had 10 minutes of
But
control
do you
time on
remember
Jim.
the one round where Jim Miller had all the control time? What did Solecki do?
Yeah, you're talking about. Well, he had 2 minutes in the first round, but he outstruck Miller. I don't really recall that fight. I thought it was 5 or 6 years ago. It was only 4 years ago, but
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna
this is
argue.
what I
I
remember
don't recall.
clearly. Solecki did not do anything when he got taken down by Jim Miller. Grant Dawson is going to do so much worse to him when he gets him down because of technique.
Guys,
Grant Dawson's technique is something else.
we're arguing about agreeing that a minus 305 favorite is going to win in
I
how
know.
way. Let's on to the next one, papas. Let's go.
Bro, that's why we need co-hosts around here, because shit gets going crazy
Because
with these stats.
man, so which one of these fuckers is on Joe Selecki? Is it Joe? No, he's on Grant. Better said he's on Grant like 3 times. What the fuck are we talking about here? And then I went to go look at the lines. Minus 305. You'd think this bitch was a pick'em. Let's get on to the next.
Roman Kapilov and Cesar Almeida will fight ahead of them. Roman is I assume he's going to be the favorite. Let me see. Roman, yeah, minus 147. Cesar Almeida plus 118. That's not a fight I have much to say about at this point, if I'm being honest. If anybody else does, go ahead.
I
Um,
got Caesar.
I just broke down that tape.
I got
Better
Caesar.
what?
Who
yeah.
you got?
Yeah, what you got? Because I'm gonna take that shot on Almeida.
Look, I understand why you would pick Almeida. I'm personally on Kopylov because his speed and timing is always going to be there throughout the fight, even when he gets tired later on. But the big question is how is he going to handle the pressure of Almeida as the fight goes on? Because Almeida builds as the fight keeps going. So personally, even though I'm on Kopylov, I would stay away from the money line bet. The best bet for me is if the over is set at 1.5. I bet the over 1.5.
Yeah,
So that's funny because I was gonna say if you're looking at Caesar, you better look at his ass first round. Oh boy, it's 5-0, 5 fight win streak, 4 knockouts, 3 first round finishes. Just saying.
I don't know, man. I was thinking the same thing about hitting that over 1.5 if that's what it's gonna give. If that's what it's gonna be set out, and it's gonna be plus money, I'll take that. Just because we're gonna have these strikers look at each other and try to figure each other out, but that does very much lean into the game of Almeida, I'd say. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It depends on where the plus money is, because
It's on
I took
Almeida. You just said
I
it right there.
no, I'm talking about the
Yeah,
over
but I'm talking
under.
about props.
Yeah, because I got burned on that damn over 1.5 Kopylov versus what was it, Claudio Ribeiro, and I was thinking, oh, this is absolutely beautiful. I know these guys are hugging, these guys are prolonging this fight, and I think I needed like 15 seconds left before Kopylov landed that damn dead shot of a head kick. I'll take the chance again if you're gonna give me plus money over 1.5.
Man, I'm gonna take the under on that fight. I'm gonna take fight goes the distance. No, but man, I'll probably just take Caesar by finish. Yeah, I just don't think Kapilov's as good as I once thought he was. Um, yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Uh, Quick plug, just so everybody knows, our tale of the tape that we have on our website, it searches and shit. It usually finds all their stats. Sometimes it can't find birthplace, fighting styles, gyms, shit like that, but it looks for it all. Our site, our tale of the tape actually says 5 fight win streak, 4 knockouts, 3 first round finishes. I don't know. Just for what that's worth, if there's anybody in here I haven't convinced to try our site yet, damn it, you should. And we already have it open on our dev board, our development board. Me and DeadPix have been using it. Probably by Friday, when you visit our site, you'll notice that certain fighters have a lit up blue icon next to their name. You click that icon, it gives you all of the recent news stories wrote about them that you can just click those stories and read them from all the top outlets. A couple of them are missing, but it's just because I don't like the way they catalog. But all the top outlets. So, Zabets, go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out capmma.com. Check that out real fast for us if you can. Like it up, share anything. But I just wanted to say something quick on that Caesar fight. Quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
Didn't this guy beat Alex Pereira once before?
Cesar Almeida?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And now you're gonna get him as a
You're talking about
yeah,
AP?
Yes, he did.
he beat AP. And now you're gonna get him as a plus money, as a dog.
The fuck out of here, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that. I still think Caesar by finish is the route, but that's first glance. I'm
No,
not
I'm
dying
with
on a
you on
stake
that.
on it. But
I'm with you on that. And it's gonna be plus money, like plus 200 or something. So
better got
Za,
tape,
you're right.
so
Yes, that's him.
better got tape. So I think his take is probably stronger than mine right now. I'm just being fair. Randy Brown versus Zaleski dos Santos. I don't even watching Randy Brown has become so boring. I don't even want to talk about his fights no more. That's how I feel. Like, I mean, if anybody wants to, you can feel free.
I
But
like the over in this fight.
I like the over in all of Randy Brown's fights. If I could describe Randy Brown in 2 words, it would be no gas. Motherfucker has no gas pedal, bro. I'm going to just stand here. I'm going to just stand here. I'm going to just stand here. Jailton Almeida will fight Alexander Romanov. That should be a good bounce back. That's a bounce back fight for Almeida, right? He's coming off of a fucking
Curtis
he
Blades.
just got beat up. Yeah.
100% a bounce back. Wait, first off, can you hear me? My fucking finger slipped and I left the space. Hello?
No, I can't hear you, bro. Try again.
Okay, you got me.
Wait, did he
Um,
say something?
Yeah, so 100% a fucking bounce back fight. They gave him Curtis Blades. He fucking ragdolled him for a whole damn round, and they said, "Okay, hey, you got knocked out. Now we're gonna give you a big fat guy who likes to wrestle and can only do it for 1 round. You better not get knocked out, you bitch." And I'll be on the Brazilian Ninja Turtle. Let's go.
Minus 294.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's crazy, to be honest.
Damn. Fuck, he just got knocked out. Can't they give us like minus 200 or
He was
something?
minus 400 against Blades, I think. He was high up there.
Bro,
No, that
fuck.
fight closed at a pick'ems like minus 111. I know because I put like
Yeah,
6 units on that bitch.
Yeah, you're right.
he opened heavy though, didn't he? He opened heavy there. What else is here? We're not going to be here too much longer, guys. Next up on this card, Kevin Holland versus Michel Olajaychek. I probably say it wrong, but it's all right. Man, I can tell y'all what Dar says. Dar says Kevin Holland should win that fight. I don't even like Kevin Holland. I don't bet Kevin Holland, but Darce definitely says Kevin Holland should win that fight.
This is back at
Versus who?
185.
Um,
I mean, it has to be.
yeah,
Oleg Sashik's not going
yeah,
down to 170.
yeah, 185.
Man, I don't know why I like Oleg Sashik there, but
Yeah, me too. I'm so mad that the fucking AI picked fucking Kevin Holland, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. And it's minus 256 on Kevin Holland. Bro, at plus 195, you can get him plus over 200. Michelle is fuck. I'm gonna have a hard time not playing him. I'm gonna have a hard time not playing him because I thought he was the side out the gate.
Man, but this I had thought about this, and then I just went to the stats and confirmed it. OXHX got T-Rex arms though, man. 74 inches to 81 inches. Jesus Christ. Like, I like OXHX, but fuck, that definitely isn't gonna help him in a fight that's more than likely gonna stay on the feet.
Yeah, he's on a win streak though, right?
No, he just
Winning.
got fucking gut kicked and then guillotined by Michelle Pereira. It was Michelle versus McCall.
Yeah, this is definitely Kevin Holland's fight to lose. He has all the tools to win this fight, and it should be an easy one for him. The only thing Alex Zaychik has is pressure, and Kevin Holland can thwart that. So it's on him.
Same.
I will say this: Kevin Holland averages 0.3 knockdowns per 15 minutes, and Olajaychuk averages 1.3. Just saying.
Wait, what does your AI say about the fight? Like, does it go over by decision for Holland?
I
Don't
can
tell
tell
him
you
he'll
right
have to
now.
watch the
So
video on YouTube.
yeah, but I'll let everybody in here just know if anybody's this far into our space, fuck it. They can know too. I'm not mad at them. It's a good enough reason for me. Holland versus Michelle here. So it says fight to go the distance 35%, fight to end by KO 45%, submission, fight to end by submission 20%. So it's picking fight to end by KO, and it's picking Kevin Holland to win 55% to 45%. So it's got him as a slight favorite, and it's picking the fight to end by KO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
whatever.
would agree because he has better striking Kevin Holland.
Yeah, like I'm not. At first glance, I was against Holland. I don't know. I'll have to look at that fight or skip it probably, but I'm still gonna have a hard time not taking that plus money on that motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. If nobody's got anything else on that one, we got Paulo Costa versus Sean Strickland. Paulo Costa's plus 173. Sean Strickland minus 222. And I ran this one in the GPT as well. And Darce says that Strickland is a 55 to 45% favorite, but it actually said 55 to 60. So they got him at 60%. Fight to go to decision, 50% probability, KO 40% probability, sub 10% probability. That's not fighter specific. The highest probabilities are KO for both guys, 45% for Paulo and 35% for Sean. All of them percent. What it really projected is Sean to win, fight to go the distance. That's what it projects. So I have no argument with that one. That's how I see it too. So
I actually like Costa.
do you like what? And I'm not, listen. I'm not even being like, well, how does he do it? But how does he get it done? Like, why?
Well, I think he can. I think he could touch up Strickland. Remember, like what really gave him problems was fighters that have really good movement and they can be evasive of his power shots. Sean Strickland is just there. He's hard to hit, but he's there. And Robert Whitaker, I thought Robert Whitaker would just wipe the floor with Costa, but Costa really put a beating on Whitaker, even though Whitaker outworked him. But the damage was on Costa's side.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. I think I think there'll be a I think there will be a defense difference in this fight. I think Sean's striking defense has tightened up quite a bit, and I think if he can be very, very patient, I think Sean has a very clear path to a decision victory. Paulo Costa by knockout isn't crazy either, though, in my opinion. So if I was picking Paulo, I would take him to win by knockout. But I'm gonna probably take Sean to win by decision because I like that one. Usman.
I don't know, man. Initially, I thought that it's going to be an easy decision for Strickland, but I think it all depends on which way the fight goes. I think Strickland can probably pull out that easy decision if he's the one moving forward and making Paulo Costa think. Um, I do agree that the defense of Strickland is very tight and it's looked very good, but Paulo Costa can go ahead and I think he can replicate a lot of the stuff that what's it called Dricus Duplessis did to win that fight without all the crazy variables and different angles that Dricus throws from. I think like I said at first I thought it was gonna be a blowout, but I think it's gonna be a good ass fucking fight, man.
YB.
I've got Costa, and I just think he's just gonna walk forward, like what Usman just said. He's just basically gonna do Dricus better than Dricus. He's just gonna walk forward and punch Sean in the face. Like he's not, and there's gonna be a time because as much as we love to say like Costa isn't that good and blah 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 blah, like he's not really a martial artist like that. And there's gonna come a point where he gets good enough that he starts really, really loading up with these punches, and he's gonna start knocking people the fuck out if he continues. And I think this is gonna showcase how good he actually is. Plus, let's be real, the UFC is not letting Sean anywhere near any sort of title contention ever again, more than likely.
I don't agree with that last statement, but better times.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to make it clear. I do agree with y'all about Strickland. I'm such a fan of Strickland, and I've always said like he has the best striking defense in the UFC. Period. No one beats him. But it's just like I can't ignore how much progress you see out of Costa. Like you think you would get one version, and then he just shows up even better. And I think that Robert Whitaker fight, he showed up not just with his skills, but he showed how much of a dog he is too. So I don't think like Sean Strickland is gonna get. I think Sean Strickland is gonna do Sean Strickland. He's gonna march forward, try to be evasive, but I think Costa is gonna start piecing him up as the fight goes on. He's just gonna get mad and he's gonna fucking just start throwing back and really make this a dog fight. And I think with the power of Costa, I think he could pull it out. I don't think it's going to be a dominant victory, but I think he can probably win a split decision. Maybe it'll go his way this time.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Paulo Costa is on my slightly overrated list. So yeah, I know I'm never gonna hear the end of it for that, but he's on my slightly overrated list. I'm saying slightly so that I don't cause a fight. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's clear for Strickland, but I'm not mad at anybody who's on Paulo Costa. I don't know. I think Paulo is. I don't think he's as overrated as Marvin Vettori, to be fair, but I do think that he is
But he
overrated.
lost to Vittori.
But
I
man,
know.
wasn't that fight awesome?
Oh my God. I can't. Are we gonna? All right. Listen. So, main event time: Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. 36 books already reporting this motherfucker. Or been on the 36 days on the board. 33 books already reporting this motherfucker. Dustin on average is plus 394. Islam is minus 556. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I would really like to see Dustin Poirier get that W. I don't really see it though. He's literally going to have to clip him. I don't think there's a situation where he may stuff a takedown or two at some point. Maybe the first one or two early on. He's going to have to make a window to hurt him and either finish him or keep him hurt. Yeah, I would really like to see Dustin win. I see the knockout as his method, but I see that as his only method. Better times.
All right, now I haven't got to that fight yet, but look, man, I've had so much fun breaking down both of them or their past fights. Islam is gonna run through this man. Like he has no chance on the feet. In my opinion, Islam makes very little mistakes when he starts striking. I know he got clipped and knocked out one time, but that's not going to happen. That first fight with Volkanovski, he severely underestimated how good Volkanovski really was, and he almost paid for it. And now you saw what happened with the second fight. He just ran through him. When Islam is serious, he's gonna run through him. And I don't think Dustin's gonna be able to stop anything that Islam wants to do. Islam is almost a perfect fighter. Finish. Either way,
What if he
Islam by
drops the
finish.
gilly though, son?
Huh?
What if he drops the gilly?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. I get you. I'm just saying, I want to see it. I would say fight goes the distance. No, is a fucking lock of the night on this fight. I just don't know what the line is going to be on it. I mean, obviously, you can take Islam. It's the better side. But if you're in love with Dustin Poirier winning that belt and having that Cinderella story, just take fight to go the distance. No, in case Zabets.
Yeah, this is Islam all day. Got to take Islam here. I think he's gonna be just way too smart to get clipped by Dustin. You already know that's his game plan. So if he stays away from that, I see a nice, easy fight.
I will say this, putting all the Khabib tax shit aside, if it is all about Islam, there's a reason they brought Nurmagomedov in for this camp. Dustin did see success against Nurmagomedov. Not tons, but he's seen success. Unfortunately for him and Conor McGregor hate each other because John Kavanagh could probably give Dustin the footwork on the ground, when Khabib is humping you front side or Islam is humping you front side, trying to crawl your body. The one thing they can't figure it out was the counter footwork. It's not questionable. They definitely had the counter footwork down to stop Khabib from mauling him. Connor, I've seen the whole breakdown. I've seen them break that fight down over like an hour talking about it. He got it right every time. Connor moved his feet the wrong way one time. Like Khabib tricked him, made him think he was going to go one way that he had been blocking him and then jumped the other way. And that was how he advanced and was able to finish the fight. If they're able to see that footwork and if they're able to mimic that footwork in Dustin's camp, I'm not, listen, I'm not Dustin's going to win. I'm just saying that is a worry for Islam's camp. And it's not by mistake that they brought Nurmagomedov in to help him with this camp. YB.
Guys, I am the president of the Dagestani Hate Club. So I have a lot of authority and I've consulted with the other members. We are going with Dustin round 5 KO. We have decided that Islam sucks. He looks stupid. And he crosses his feet a lot when he strikes at times. And when he goes for takedowns, there are times where you can look at him. He'll really do some stupid shit with his feet. I'm not sure exactly because I'm not world class at breaking it down, but he does make mistakes as good as he is. And if there were anybody that could get it done, and you like, this is like who is it? Alpha male, team alpha male. Whenever like it took like 8 fighters to beat one fighter, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Dustin is like our last hope to beat Islam. If nobody else does it at 155, he's riding off to 170, and he's not going to be touched. He's not fighting Armin again, in my personal opinion. I don't see that happening.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he's going to get knocked out. Period.
I called this his last fight at 155 2 fights ago in the spaces, bro. He's moving to 170.
It's not going to happen. He's not
unless he gets
rematching Armin.
Connor.
That's not going to happen.
Unless he gets Connor.
But even Connor said this. Islam has been knocked out by a check hook from a southpaw before. That is Dustin's only way to beat him. I would think round 5, I think he's got to go Volk and just push it and make Islam tired and make a mistake. And if not, I think FanDuel has it. There's a specific, the specific way it goes down. I think Dustin shoots for a sloppy guillotine. Maybe he has it in for 10, 15, 20 seconds. And everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to get it. And then he gets Von Flue choked and he dies. Because the Von Flue is like the proper counter to the guillotine. And Islam had said, we're working on something special for him. That's the something special.
All right. We'll see. That's a good call. Bold call. Better times.
Hey, I need someone to release this footage. So I believe it was you, Joe, and now whoever was just talking saying that Islam gets a little crisscross and looks kind of stupid when he's striking sometimes. I need to see this because I've watched him for a while.
Oh, I did not say that. YB said that. I did not.
Okay. Y'all need to release this footage, and it better be anywhere from the beginning of when he started fighting Drew Doper till now. I need to see where in between these fights he started making these stupid mistakes.
This is feelings, no facts.
Ozzy, nice to see you, bro. I'm making Usman wait. Get after it, bud.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, like I see a bunch of people like chucking just tons of money on Islam, man. I mean, if you want to put, what do you got to put $5,000 to win $1,000 on on Islam? I mean, why not just put that $50 on the silly gilly and $50 to win 1,000? We're going, yeah, we're going for that guillotine choke, boys. He's 100% gonna take Diamond down, Dusty down, and he's 100% gonna pull for that choke, man. He's probably not gonna get it, but are you telling me he only gets 1 out of 20? I don't know, man. I think he's going to go for 5 takedowns. He's at least 5 takedowns. I think it goes the distance. Dustin's pretty tough. So, yeah, man, give me that guillotine choke, man, just for the shits and giggles. That's just going to be one you're going to want to pin on the top of your tweet. You know, you're going to have it there. You're going to tell everyone, yeah, I seen it coming, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. No one's seen it coming. It's just a funny gimmick. $5 to win 100, 50 to win 1,000, whatever, however you play. Why not just be someone who makes a bit of money on that if he gets it?
Yeah, I can't be mad at that call either. Usman.
Everybody's gonna be telling you all week that it's the perfect Cinderella story. It's written this and that. Well, it was written for Dustin Poirier to finally get the championship against Michael Chandler whenever it was vacant. And I told y'all this. I told y'all this that he decided to fight Connor. Chose gold over glory. Chose gold over God, and that's where Charles swooped in. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. Um, it's Islam. It's Islam all day, and don't fall into all this extra shit that people are gonna say that Dustin has a chance because he doesn't. We've seen this fight before. It's Islam inside the distance all day.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. So here's what, just to throw it out there, Darce picked Islam 60% probability. um, by a 45% submission probability. Did not give a total fight sub or prop or a total knockout prop. What I've not been editing them, so like if you listen to them, one of the videos is calling it a coup instead of a KO. But I do not want to go back and edit these. I put them through the model, I put the audio in, I put a few images up, and I audit them out. But it's 60% Islam, 45% on his submission, 10% on his KO. 25% is all they're giving the fight to go the distance, which is like fucking 300 line. It said Dustin has a 40% chance of winning the fight with a 25% chance of KO and a 20% chance of submission. So I would say if you're betting Dustin and you're getting the fucking Gilly at plus whatever, take half of whatever you're getting on the Gilly and put it on the KO, just in case Dustin gets it the other way. But yeah, I agree with what Usman said. Like we've seen this fight. We know where this is going. But hey, Cinderella story, yay! But we know where this fight is going. And believe it or not, it's probably going to Conor versus Islam for the 155-pound belt in the fall. That's probably where it's going. If Conor beats Chandler, Islam versus Conor is the second biggest pay-per-view in UFC history. Better times.
I will say this though: if Dustin does beat Islam, he is going to become an even bigger star. There's so many videos right now on social media planting the seeds of him winning this fight because this is his third chance. So if he does, man, he's gonna have the gold and the glory. But to what you were saying right there, why would Conor McGregor even want to fight Islam? He has to know he's gonna get it. I think Islam is gonna do him worse than Dustin.
He said in a video yesterday, he feels like the 155-pound belt is being set up for him right now.
Ooh, that's delusion, bro. That's delusion. You think you're gonna take that belt from either
If he
one?
KOs, but if he KOs Chandler and Islam chokes out Dustin, there's no way the UFC passes on that fight.
I know.
There's no way. And Conor, see, here's the thing. We're at the end here. Everybody has been talking about the UFC holding Conor up because he only has 2 fights. Conor says they're in negotiations, been in negotiations. Conor McGregor's biggest move would be to KO Chandler. Islam chokes out Dustin. Call Islam out. Islam has already said he said it 3 times. I can show you 3 interviews where he has said he wants that fight. The UFC will be blind to what they can sell on pay-per-view. Conor versus Islam. Conor will be able to fight his contract out, and the UFC will let it happen to get Conor versus Islam, in my opinion. Usman.
And most importantly, what we talked about earlier, if Connor can somehow pull off 2 wins against Chandler and Islam, I know it's a pipe dream, but we do have a Khabib that is supposedly bankrupt and broke and would be willing to come back, and they'd throw infinite amount of money to try and make that happen. I also want to throw in the little suggestion that maybe we don't see Connor versus Islam for the 155 championship, but instead the 165 championship to make it a little more sweeter. And if Connor can somehow win, he becomes the first triple champion in UFC history. Um,
You ain't lying, bro. That's a good
He's
thought.
not
there's
beating
Yeah,
Islam.
that's a good point.
He's not beating Islam though.
I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is, but it's all there. It is all there. All they need is the dice to roll
Hey,
on a lucky seven.
hey, I'm about to cut a new clip tomorrow, so if somebody gets it before me, I know you fucking stole it from me. Bro, y'all ever seen Rocky 4?
Nope.
Is that the one where he's in the
Where
log in the
Paulo Creed gets beat to death in the
Oh yeah,
ring?
with the Russian, yes.
Oh yeah, bro, and the Russian standing in the ring. If he dies, he dies. And Rocky's holding Paulo Creed in his arms.
Oh, yep, I saw that.
So put a Khabib's face on Rocky and Islam's face on Apollo Creed and Connor's face on Drago. Because that's what the UFC is hoping it happens. They're hoping that Connor knocks him out and Khabib jumps in the cage to save his friend, and him and Connor are nose to nose, pushing each other and shoving each other and spitting on each other with their deep breaths and shit. That's what the UFC wants. Because then, oh God, bro, that is what the UFC wants. I don't care what anybody says. That is the biggest payday the UFC could possibly imagine. I would bet you that it sells near 5 million pay-per-views. It would be an insane fight. Aussie's been waiting forever.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, do you think that is a bigger fight just because of the opponent compared to if he goes to 170, goes to be the first ever triple champ in the UFC? Something that probably only Alex Pereira's probably got a shot at doing. But other than that, no one else has kind of come close. And if he does do that, he might be the only person we ever see do that, and until they do tighten up these weight classes, make them 10 pounds or whatever. But until then, we're talking 45, 55, and 70. Like, no one's ever going to make those jumps again, I don't think. And honestly, I think he's got a chance at his
AP's gonna
size,
do it.
weight, and power
AP's gonna
to
do it.
beat Leon Edwards.
AP's going to do it. AP's going to get it in 3 divisions. It's going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, Leon already says he wants that fight, Aussie. He's already talking about it. He's already talking about how awesome it would be for Conor to get his triple champ opportunity in Madison Square
I mean,
Garden
more of
and all this bullshit.
do
But listen,
do you think that sells better though than
Conor,
Islam as an opponent? Do you think the
no.
third
Conor,
championship?
so active fighters right now, the biggest fight in the entire UFC is Conor McGregor versus Islam Makhachev by at least double the amount of pay-per-views, whatever second place is, in my opinion. That it sells a guaranteed 2 million pay-per-views. If Conor comes off a win, it is very contingent. No, I can't even say that because right now, Islam and Conor would outsell anybody. Anybody. If that fight got canceled, if Chandler pulled out and Islam stepped in right now, they would sell more fucking pay-per-views than anybody else in the UFC, in my opinion. I don't see how anybody could outsell them. It's just my opinion. And the UFC is going to look at that. They're still on the pay-per-view model. YB, we're getting ready to close the space up, bud. What you got?
I was just gonna say, I think this was like whenever the Chandler Connor fight got announced, that exact scenario you just like said of Chandler getting flatlined by Connor and then Islam versus Connor for the belt and then Islam loses and Khabib come back. Like I think I had said this like I don't even know, dude. Sometime during 2023 when I was blazed out of my skull and talking shit at like 3 a.m. That is like I think you're completely.
Yo, you're cutting out. Is it just me?
Yeah, you're cutting out. Your last couple sentences, we can't hear you.
Dude,
He's gone. I can't hear him.
No, he's still going. We just can't hear him.
here.
He's skipping right now. It's skipping.
Well, unless YB catches up, that's the whole docket, guys. Man, I really appreciate everybody being here and everybody doing this. Usman and Dead Picks getting in here early for me. Connor was in here early, some other folks too. I appreciate everybody, but just to my co-host, shout out. I'll get this all chopped up on all of our platforms for tomorrow. CapMMA.com. This week I'm going to release not like I'm holding it back. It's got to get tested, updated, but automated headline tracking system. So on the board, if there are any recent headlines on that fighter, the icon will light up blue. You can just click the icon. It'll give you a pop-up with the title of each story, whichever ones you want to read. You can click the link. It tells you the website. You can click the link, and it'll open it up for you in another window. So I'm pretty proud of that feature too. We really are at the front of what the odds boards are doing. A lot of guys are, I don't want to say a lot. There's a couple guys that have already copied a few things that we do, that we did first. Sites that have been out for years that clearly were not going to do those modifications until we came out with our site and did it. So, trying to stay ahead of the curve here and trying to make it, well, not trying, keeping it ad free. Absolutely keeping it ad free and trying to make it load as fast as possible for everyone. Usman.
So now you're telling me if I'm a narrative better, I can look at the fighter I want and have all the headlines come up so I can make my narrative betting even easier?
Yes, sir. And it'll track them for, like, I haven't decided if I'm going to set it to 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, but it'll set it to weeks back. So it'll compile all of them for you. Yeah, and everybody too. So guys who post videos, it'll have links to their videos so you can watch the videos. It's a it's a pretty smooth little system. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, it's working well. I've been using it for a couple of days. Um, yeah, final things. Dead picks. If you go over to the development board, I don't know anybody who uses our site. One of the biggest pains in the asses is that you have to scroll up and down to see your parlay totals, and that you have to scroll up and down to the bar to be able to go left and right to see more sports books. So the new update that will release this week, you do not have to scroll down. You can grab the board with the mouse if you're not a touchscreen user, and you can drag the board back and forth now, so you don't have to scroll down. And when you turn the parlay calculator on and you're adding up your parlays, if you want to scroll down to another card, you want to do a multi-card parlay, the total will now be at the top of every date. So not just up at the top of the board where you got to scroll back up to see it. Every single date, that total will be above the date. The same parlay total, not each date. The same total parlay number that's at the top will be over each date. So it'll be at 3, 4, 5 places on the board. So you'll be able to see it without having to go back up. Pretty happy about that one too. A few other small modifications. I won't sit here and list them all, but a few quote unquote glitches. Everything's getting worked out pretty well over there. We'll have the site buttoned up to what I consider complete uh, fairly soon, couple months here. The only big decision to make left is if we're going to do DFS or not. I may add DFS and a DFS calculator and an optimizer right to the board in one column. That will allow users to download a CSV file. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. Usman, Dead Picks, you got anything before we get out of here? That's all right. Everybody, Ozzy is a longtime visitor, speaker, guest, whatever of the space. He's been doing some stuff over there with uh, what is the name of the brand? I'm so sorry. It's fucking 3 hours into the space here, Ozzy.
No, it's UF Combat with UFC reporter, MMA reporter Colin Crandall. A lot of great stuff we got going over there. Fighter interviews, breakdown predictions, look much like your show. Yeah, so definitely come over, UF Combat. Follow me, Colin Crandall, and Danny. We've got some good things coming up, some exciting things. better than me. These things don't always move quickly. You know, you try to make a little step forward, it takes a long time to get there. So yeah, we're working on a lot of cool things, and yeah, so give us a follow over there. And yeah, I'm glad you guys record your show, because sometimes I miss a little bit of it, but I always go back and listen. Great stuff, great topics, and you know, some back and forth, different opinions, no arguments. And when it is, you know, more than often keep it friendly. So you guys are doing a great job over there too. So keep it up the good work, and yeah, hopefully we can even collaborate a little bit once or twice a year. You know, it'll be great.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up myself. We've offered it to some other people, other brands, you know, brands at our level. I'm not talking about like we went over to MMAfighting.com or nothing. I'm like, I'm fucking guys. You know, other guys, small brands, micro brands like we are here. I think it would be great to do pay-per-view cards, or even every other pay-per-view card, or one every quarter with another brand. And it doesn't have to be one versus the other, but you know, those will be the guys that dominate the mic, and both places could use it. Like we can afford sometimes to let somebody else host a space that we're in, because we record it all and put it up on our channel. So even though we might miss it on Twitter one week, as long as it's understood that it goes everywhere else that we go, you know, we can pay it forward a little bit and let somebody else get the hits that week on a space. But yeah, I'd really like to set that up. I know you guys got 3 people over there that I've heard talk, and they're all really solid. Yeah, we'll figure that out, Ozzy. That's all I got. I'm babbling now, guys. That's it. CapMMA.com. Man, everybody in here right now was a regular. Thank you guys. I see you guys all the time. That's it.